This is a story about a rowdy, ambitious orc named Gull. Gull is great at 3 things: running, running fast, and running away. Until eventually he hits a tree, yet he keeps running away. Even when other kids are hunting, yet he keeps running fast. When there is a mountain blocking him, yet he keeps running and climbing the mountain as if it is a sweet orc boobies. Just why is he running, you ask? What a dumb question. It is obvious that it is because he is Gull. His heart swelled at the thought of undiscovered lands stretching out as far as the eye could see beyond the horizon. Why can I not see what mysteries and dangers await? He wondered. What time is it already? Oh God, it is already dusk. Gull has something that he needs to do. Until midnight he keeps running and running, this time with a clear goal in mind. He is tasked like the other kids to hunt and bring back a game to present to the chieftain. Having no other choice, he grabbed the rabbit by the ear and kept running fast to home. All of the orcs have gathered inside of the chieftain house ready for celebrating today's event. However, there is still a single orc not present. Our main character Gull made it stylishly just in time. But all of the orc looks at him angrily because they all know that Gull is late for a good amount of time. Anyways, let's get the event starting. The orc chieftain commands for the hunters in training to line up in front of him. All of the orcs make way for the young orc hunter. 4 young orcs stand before the chieftain, each presenting the result of their hunts. Kagan, the son of Kagani, brought a farting boar that farts even after dying. Dubok, the son of Duboki, brought a deer that has been beaten up by his overwhelming punches. Mutu, the son of Tot, with ease hunted the biggest ram that is on the area. On to the last orc. It is Gull flinging his little rabbit that he caught on the way. Obviously, the orc chief is enraged by the poor performance of Gull since he is the son of Gulfin, the greatest blacksmith in the village. Haha, well, rest in peace, Gull. The orc chief's last bit of patience has run out. He took his stance and threw a quick right hook. He punched Gull in the guts with the power of 1,000 orc. Even the orc has a rough time bracing the impact from Gull flying. This is the power of the most powerful orc in the village. Garkor, notoriously known as the Beast, is the orc chief of the Bubas orc village. From that day on, Gull's life turns into a chaos every day. Always disciplined every day by the orc chief. Always have high expectation pushed to him. Orc must be strong, this and that. God, all he ever wanted is to go on an exciting adventure. But now he is constantly beaten up day by day. He looks to the blacksmith, which happens to be his own home. But he passed through it as if it was just another building in the street. The last thing he wants to see after being nagged by the orc chieftain is more complaining from his mother. Just the thought of his mother with her veins popping while holding a knife can send shivers down through his spine. With no other choice, Gull goes to his secret base to spend his midnight. Haha, Gull actually sings secret base in this panel. This is not edited by me. Another tedious and painful day has passed. It is time for Gull to hit the sack and move on to another day. But in the middle of the night, he wakes up but still extremely sleepy. Even his own kidney does not allow him to sleep peacefully. As he pees away, he starts to fling his pee around and eventually he creates the spiral of hell of pee. What the hell, he actually spawns a lightning in the middle. No wait, it isn't a lightning. All of a sudden, something is flung to Gull's direction and it destroyed the edge of the hill where Gull is standing. Just what did Gull do to be this unlucky? He falls on the ground hard and hit his back, and while he screamed, he had to forcefully drink his own pee that falls on his mouth. Well, that is pretty nasty. Gull starts to vomit everywhere. Hey Gull, I think you might want to stop vomiting everywhere and look to your left for a bit. Just how did it get to this point? This mysterious dark elf is running away too, but she is running away from something that is trying to kill her. The knife that she threw desperately to slow down her pursuer is mercilessly swatted away by a giant beast. Her body is full of scars. With her current condition, the possibility of escaping the beast that is chasing her would be close to 0%. The creature's size was nothing short of impressive, with muscles rippling beneath its thick fur, with speed and force that defies the law of nature. The dark elf barely dodges the beast attack, but it is just hopeless since her internal organs are already in a mess. I guess this is what the dark elf thinks. Just why did this have to happen in her last mission where finally she would be free? But now she has to die to a wild beast. At least that is what she thought before she saw both of the man controlling the beast with their bright yellow round eyes glooming in the dark. No, if she is caught here, not only will her life be forfeited, but every day she will be tortured and dies an excruciatingly painful death. Now she has no choice but to stand her ground and try to at least take them down. She launches her knife towards the beast again, but the beast flicks the teeny tiny knife to change its course, hitting the side of the cliff. The dark elf kept running and running deeper through the forest. Eventually fate brought them together, with Gull still vomiting the rest of his pee out of his mouth. Yes, Gull, I think it is a good time to start running now. Although normally people would freeze up at the sight of the ferocious beast, Gull's feet started moving on its own until unconsciously he starts running backward very quickly. The only thing on his mind while running is how is he supposed to get away from the beast that is out of nowhere chasing him too. He kicks the rock that is flying in midair. The rock travels with great speed towards the raging beast, but we know where this is going to go. He smirks and gets his finger ready again to flick the minuscule rock. Wait, the rock that Gull kicked has enough power to break the beast's finger. Gull's attack worked on the beast. But the beast is even more enraged now because of the pain of its finger breaking, so Gull took this small window of hesitation to zoom out of the fight. But Gull did not notice that the ground is rocky, so he tripped on a rock and fell to the ground. No, wait, his bad luck still remains, so he falls through a cliff instead. Gull's body twists and turns as he is going down the hill while hitting all of the jagged surface of the cliffside. His consciousness starts to fade as the ground comes closer and closer to him. Eventually, Gull hits the ground and the dark elf following him. The dark elf calls out to Gull to check if the young orc is still alive. Without any notice, Gull opens his eyes. Startled by the person standing before him, he smacks the dark elf in the face. But now Gull has come to his senses, so he asked the dark elf who the hell is she. The dark elf slowly rises and fixes her Google. With the hope of getting some help from Gull, she told him her name. She is a Dressen Ranwarin that comes from the deep enchanted forest. Since she is heavily wounded, she was wondering if Gull could give her a hand perhaps. Not going to lie, that request is no problem, but the beast that is chasing you might say otherwise. Lady, I don't want to disrespect you and Gull, but I don't think Gull can defeat that thing. The beast starts to charge up its breath attack. With a thunderous roar, the creature let loose a blast of fiery breath that engulfed everything in its path. The beast unleashed a torrent of searing breath, hot enough to scorch the very air around it. Yeah, I don't think my boy Gull can handle this. Let's call another person. Gull in a Dressen barely dodges the breath attack. The breath attack is powerful enough to create a huge explosion and obliterates anything that it touches. Thankfully, it didn't touch. Nope, never mind, I don't think Gull is okay. But a Dressen is in an even worse condition than Gull. Once again, her only hope is still with Gull, so she asked Gull for his assistance. But do you know what Gull is good at? Yes, that's right, it is running away. A Dressen has finally reached her limit. There is nothing left that she can do and her body loses all of the strength, so she falls to the ground. But she does not meet her end here. She slowly regains her stamina and opens her eyes. The sight before him is unbelievable. The young orc that has ran away before now carries her away while running. But they are still far from danger. The beast is still in hot pursuit, burning every single tree on his way. In a split second, the beast has caught up with Gull since Gull's speed decreases while carrying a Dressen. A Dressen panicked and tells Gull to run even faster or they will get sliced in half. But for Gull it is easier said than done. With lightning fast movements, the beast raked its claws towards Gull in a Dressen. But just a second before the beast's massive claw hits Gull, he threw a Dressen up in the air to release his loads and move faster. As soon as Gull is not carrying a Dressen anymore, his movement is light as a feather. He dodges the beast's claw with ease and runs like the wind, just as a Dressen is about to hit the ground. Gull caught up to her with his swiftness and catch her, preventing a Dressen from hitting the ground. Every single move from Gull is framed perfect and only a hair's breadth close to dying. But even after all of those pro moves, the beast is still pursuing them and keeping up with Gull's pace. Here comes another breath attack. You can dodge this, right, Gull? Nope. The fire breath attack hits Gull directly in the ass. Now we can finally say that Gull has them hot caked. With his ass on fire, it propels him forward just like a rocket. Fortunately, now they are close to their destination. Gull goes down a thick, slippery tree vine. Every twist and turns that he went takes him closer and closer to the orc village. Slowly the song of the orc tribe gets louder and louder. Eventually, Gull in a Dressen arrives at the front of Orc Village. Just a little closer and they will be in the safety of the Orc Village, but unexpectedly a flash of light appears behind Gull as he turns around. It is just a beautiful bowl of ramen that is glistening with the golden yellow gleam of the soup and the aroma that makes anyone salivate themselves. The time is nigh for the orc chieftain to dig in his decadent meal after a long day of work. There is only a couple things left to do. Break the chopsticks in half, pick up a chopstick full of noodles, and don't forget to blow on it. It is finally time to enjoy the bliss and ignorance that he longs after a hard day. But Gull no like, so he no let him eat. All of a sudden, Gull in a Dressen flies beside the orc chieftain. They crash into everything that is before them, causing a lot of destruction and chaos. And of all places, they crash the ramen stall that the orc chieftain is currently eating, destroying his bowl of ramen and obviously the whole stall. Man, just want to chill at midnight. Slowly hot blood flows through his head, popping every vein, and finally it reached his whole greenish-blue body, just as he is about to get angry at Gull for disturbing him. But he observed the scenery that is before him. Gull, and an unknown lady is all covered in bruises with all of the ramen stall in shambles, even though they destroyed the very thing that causes joy for the orc chieftain. No, there is no if and but. He has been waiting to eat the ramen for an entire day, and now everything is ruined. Several kind of emotions keep swelling up inside of the orc chieftain as the beast claw is approaching him from behind. But slowly every emotion translates into a single strong emotion, wrath. An intensely furious orc chieftain is here. It only took him a nanosecond to process all of the information and moved his body. The impact of the chieftain punch was like a thunderclap, a shockwave that reverberates through the entire beast's humongous body. Just like a lightning, the light comes first, and the sound comes after the orc chieftain releases all of his emotion for a ramen revenge. Is that enough explanation and exaggeration? I see you people in the comments now. I have acquired the secret technique of using ChatGPT. Oh right, the story, the beast is blasted away, ricocheting everywhere. Alright author, that might be too much of an exaggeration. Return to sender. Both of the man that are controlling the beast appears in front of the orc village. Strangely, even after noticing that the beast is flying towards them, they show no sign of needing to dodge. Even from afar, the orc chieftain notices that both of these men are a formidable opponent. He and orc to sound the horn to prepare for a huge battle. Well, the orc chieftain instinct is correct. If the beast is already this strong, then the one who tamed the beast must have a crazy strong power. Both of them does not even need the beast to do everything for them. The shadow lifts, and we can see them clearly. Both of them are covered with sturdy, strong muscle, an incredible physique. Their skins are light blue, and most importantly, their eyes. Well, their eyes comes later. One of the orc guard blows the horn to notify everyone that an intruder is coming, so all of them gather to the village hall and grab their weapons. All of the orc guards in a hurry gather to the place where the sound of the horn comes from. Not long after, the proud and bloodthirsty group of orc assembles behind the orc chieftain. All of them are ready to battle. Alright Garrick, this is the time for you to give a speech to the orc to boost all of their morale. Go ahead, take the mic. What is this supposed to be, a charade? Alright, 5 letters. Poke, right up your ass, no abort mission, slice their neck. Yet to be honest, two guys, I don't know what the fuck is he trying to say. Bruh, why did you need to do that when you can just say it out loud? The orc chief tells his underling to stand by since he is going to go alone. Moreover, he wants them to evacuate all of the children. Speaking of another bruh, the dark elf that Gull is desperately trying to save now is in a critical condition. All of the children gather behind a rock, cheekily looking at Gull. Mudu decide that it is time to get closer, bruh. But the rest of the orc children is hesitant since all of the adult orc has gathered for battle. But they made up their mind, or more like they force Mudu to go first. They finally meet up with their bruh. Gull, guys, come on, this is a serious situation. Can you take it seriously? Adrenis is just bleeding out on the floor, and oh my god, did I just assume Adrenis' gender all this time? An adult orc screamed at the 4 orc children to tell them they are getting in the way. But the Kagan just told his uncle that they are just looking for Gull. The main thing that they should be worried about is the 2 intruders in front of the village. Get ready and clench your tits, kids. The true identity of the intruders is demons. Demons are well known for their cruel and evil demeanor, a being of immense power and cunning, a master of manipulation and strong in every aspect. Garrick knew this, so he asked what are their business here in the orc village. The demons grins, but he answers respectfully to the orc chief. The demon is called Eyes All Right, the vice captain of the Greed Demon Army, and they are here to retrieve what is rightfully theirs. But Garrick shows no sign of fear even if he is on the face of demon. No matter who they are, Garrick is still the chief of the orc village and they can't do anything in his territory. Eyes All Right just laughs it off, underestimating the orc chief and saying that he will regret this, but the orc chief is serious about protecting his own village. While Eyes All is still laughing, suddenly the demon that is beside him disappears. The other demon does not disappear, but he moved at a speed where the orc chief and everyone cannot follow with a naked eye. In an instant, the demon already passed Garrick and are going for the rest of the orc. Garrick commands everyone to brace for impact and protect the children. But it is too late. As soon as the demons step on their village, their fate has been sealed. It is not even a fight anymore. The demon annihilates everyone with a single move. A fearsome strength and speed the demon possesses. Even after blocking it perfectly, he overpowers the orc with his bare hand. But slowly the orc's saw starts cracking and his bones starts creaking. The orc are not a weak race by any means. It is just that the demons are simply stronger than them. The orc is blown away from the impact of the demon's strike. If they can't defeat them, then who will protect the children? Well, it is not certainly these 4 kids. All of them are weak, but combined they are strong enough to brace the adult orc and stop him from taking more damage. But a great danger still stands before them. The adult orc is barely even standing, and his weapon is broken. Meanwhile, the demon called Umphine is still unscathed, and he is capable of destroying the whole village alone. He is one of the strongest demon who is now the 3rd seat of the Greed Demon Army. While he might not be skilled with conversing, His deadly martial arts is surely the reason why he is feared by most demon. And meanwhile, on the other side of the ring, we have Bob the fucking Builder. What is he going to say that he can fix it? Nope, he cannot fix it, but he points at a house that he built. It is supposed to be sturdy. I am just speechless because of this dumb interaction. Alright, enough with the talking, let's resume the fight. Bob is grateful for the children, but it is too dangerous at this point, so he told the children to get out of there. Bob is a man of bravery and chivalry. Even in the face of death, he charges straight ahead to the demon, all to protect the children and his family. After witnessing the overwhelming strength of Garrick becomes worried about the backline. However, instead of being worried of others, I think it is better to worry about yourself first. Iser is still here, ready to annihilate all of them. With lightning speed, he kicks Garrick straight in the head. Will it be over just one attack? No, the Orc Chieftain is a cut above the rest of the Orc. He blocks Iser kick with only a single hand, suspending him in midair. But the real question should be, can the Orc Chieftain fight head-to-head with Iser, the vice captain of the Greed Demon Army? Iser once again laughs, this time because he is satisfied that it is not over just with one attack. The Orc Chieftain is a formidable foe after all. Garrick also acknowledges the strength of Iser. Both of them realize that they are as strong as each other. But that is if Iser is just playing around. He stomps the ground. And it happened in the blink of an eye, before you could see him. No, it is wrong. Garrick could not even see him even after Garrick received the heavy strike. Iser is moving with such speed that he appears to be invincible for Garrick. Even after being blown away, Iser keeps up with Garrick and follows up with another heavy kick. I have already said it before and I will say it again. Their fate has been sealed the moment the demons set their foot in the village. Even the Orc Chieftain is powerless in the face of Iser. But what about our manly Bob the Builder? Will he be the hero of the story? No bump breaks Bob the Builder saw like it is a Lego toy and sends him flying with a strong right hook. Bob is slammed to the wall of the house that he built. Well, Bob, I guess the last thing you build turns out to be your own grave. The sheer weight behind punch obliterates not only Bob but the sturdy building that he built. Just one singular punch and the impact is comparable to that of a cannonball. Even Bob is single-handedly defeated by the demons, but at least he buys some times for the children right. Wrong. Is big but fast. He smashes all of the children along with the dark elf to smithereens. No, wait, that hair, is that you, Goku? Guess we will find out in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Stay tuned. A buffed female orc with the name of Lozen blocks deadly strike with a single hand. Thankfully, all of the children is safe thanks to Lozen. Just a moment ago, everyone is in a state of panic. Lozen is the one responsible to evacuate all of the orc villager to a nearby cave. One of the orc guard rushes back to the elder's hut. The orc guard shouts with all his might to tell the elder that intruder has infiltrated the village. Instead of getting help, he is met with a smoke pipe. The elder orc told the orc guard that he knows. Upon hearing the explosion that comes from the village, Lozen rushes back to check the current situation of the battlefield. The front line of the orc army has been breached and the number of casualties keeps increasing by the second. In the middle of the battlefield, she noticed that there is still children who are not yet evacuated. It is Gull and his friend carrying Adrenis, but is approaching rapidly. Realizing that she won't make it in time, Lozen invokes her spirit beast skill, calling forth the spirit of a beast to inhibit her body. A giant rhinoceros spirit beast starts to form behind Lozen, but the grandmother orc is not surprised since she long knew that the true warrior of Buba's village are bestowed with a spirit beast by the elder. The spirit beast will amplify the warrior's ability according to the beast characteristics. In Lozen's case, it will be massive strength with an armor thick like skin defense. With a ground-breaking stomp, she kicks the ground and propels herself to the battlefield from on top of the cliff, eventually arriving at the place where Gull is. Thanks to her increased defense, she is able to land safely to block attack with one hand. There has been no one that can block attack with one hand other than Iser or the leader of the Greed Demon Army. Increases his power output, but Lozen skillfully utilizes the force to distance herself. The savior is here now, there is no need to worry anymore. My god, all of the children is so chaotic she can't even introduce herself properly. Even in danger they are still playing around. I agree, I think Bob the Builder is way more badass. I swear all of them have dyslexia or something. Guys, you might want to shut up. Auntie Lozen is furious with the rowdy children. But she wonders herself, just why did the demons chase a single dark elf? What did the dark elf do to piss them off? But she perishes the thought of overthinking, so she asks the children to flee to Buda. Anyone who messes with her village shall be eliminated, no matter who. A group of elite elder orcs starts to gather up near Lozen to back her up. Despite their farmer or butcher appearance, I swear they are truly a monster. But can they beat this blue giant pure condensed death? Alright, cue some epic music because Lozen and the gang are going to kick some ass. With a strong stomp, she lifts all of the ground in front of her. A debris of rock is about to crush and bury him in the ground. but Ump is fast and agile enough to jump over it. However, Ump is now in midair and unable to dodge, so Lozen did not waste this opportunity and went for the offensive. Even Ump does not expect Lozen's speed to be this fast. In a blink of an eye, she uses the land that she lifted as a footing to close the distance. Both of their fists collides, creating a huge shockwave. Both of their power is equal to each other, so they are repelled backwards. The farmer orc notices this, so he blinks behind Ump for a surprise attack, but Ump blocks the attack even without turning his back. From the flank, here comes the rest of the orc ready to intercept Ump when he falls to the ground. Death from above and below. From both sides, they pincered Ump with a great timing and synergy, slowly chipping away his defense, but Ump regained his composure and once again dismantles the orc weapon with his bare hand. Ump inhaled with all his might, inflating his already humongous body, and he released all of it in one go, creating a sonic boom around him. The elder orcs are relentless with their attack. This time the fighter orc is ready, waiting in the smoke to hit Ump with a quick 1-2 at the back. But Ump is not even fazed by the sneak attack. Instead, he is even more furious now than ever before. Even after jumping back a good distance, Ump is still able to dash, closing the distance in a second. He easily slams the orc down to the ground, smashing the orc's head like a watermelon. But here comes Lozen, already recovers from the exchange of blows before. She concentrates the beast aura on her right hand to increase her attack damage. With a strong right hook from Lozen, she smashes Ump straight to his torso, rattling every single cell of Ump's body. Ump is sent backward a couple of miles, but abnormally, he is still able to keep his balance. Soon he stops as if nothing has happened. Nope, something definitely happened. Ump is covered in slice wound and battered all over the place. Despite all of this, he still has a lot of stamina and tenacity left to fight. On the other hand, Lozen has exhausted the rest of her strength. She was the one attacking, but her body is already spent. Additionally, all of the orc assisting her is critically injured and unconscious. But they have all done their job in creating some space for the children to escape, right? Freaking nope, they are still here spectating the fight. In fact, the one commentating the fight before was not me but them. Bro, why did you not run to safety when all the orcs sacrificed themselves? Oh shit guys, I think now you have done fucked up. He will not die in the hands of Ump but Lozen instead. Rats, it is time for you to pay for your naughtiness. But all of a sudden, a giant aura explodes a couple miles behind Lozen. It shakes all the ground around them as if a giant has stomped the ground. There is only one person Lozen knows who has this much power, so she asks the children if the chief has finished his ramen or not. But as we knew, Gul destroyed his bowl of ramen. Lozen is filled with an intense emotion of haunting concerns of what is to come. All knees shall bow, every tongue must confess. The strongest orc has descended to earth, only driven by his wrath. Garrick, the village chief, rises once again. For round 2, he is not holding back anymore. He summons the spirit beast bestowed to him. A huge grizzly bear aura that truly befits his fighting style surrounds him. Iser Wright recognizes this particular skill of the orc. The notorious beastmaster and the strongest orc alive is standing before him. Garrick does not want to go all out because he might destroy the whole village. But there is no other choice since they spoiled precious, juicelicious, spicilicious, delicious ramen. Enough chatting, play the epic music. Iser blood boils once more with the desire to fight. He discards his coat once more and Sonic dashes towards Garrick. Garrick is able to react to Iser's lightning-fast kick, but Iser mirage-like movement is too fast to see for Garrick. Kicks after kicks comes from every single angle around Garrick. However, slowly but surely, he is able to keep up with Iser right movement even after accelerating a couple notch faster. Garrick coils his body backwards, pulling his hands up in the air like a hammer. He pins the nail. With his bear-like power, he obliterates Iser right and the ground below him. Iser's body even bounced from the ground from the impact. With a single strike, he almost lost his consciousness, but Garrick did not even give him a chance to catch his breath. Garrick grabs Iser right by the head to deliver a strong Muay Thai head crusher kick, sending Iser a couple feet in the air. Garrick is not done yet with his deadly combo. He grabs Iser again and spins wildly in the air. All of the air starts to move with him, forming a small whirlwind with deadly rotational force. But before Garrick can finish his instant kill move, Iser escapes and a black cloud appears. Iser is also done playing around now. He is using his demonic magic. His demonic soul starts to form around him. A sturdy battle glove envelopes his arms, and he strengthens his body with his demonic energy. Iser right strength has explosively increased, and now here comes the counterattack. But here's the thing, if Iser right strength increased explosively, then Garrick's strength has increased infinitely. The beast who has lost all of his reasoning. lost in wrath, and the thing he needs to protect the beast will slam all of his problem to the ground until he is exhausted. Eventually, the beast stops after Iser is completely wrecked like a toy. Every innocent being shall stand down. His name is Gerk, the chief of Buba's orc village, but he is well known as the beast instead of the beastmaster. Then who the hell is this orc beastmaster? The master of Gerk, who is known as the beast after receiving spirit beast from the beastmaster. He shall come when the time come. Meanwhile, Lozen is being bashed everywhere by The orc children panics, but they have no plan from leaving. Instead, they are raring to go despite the strong opponent they needed to face, of course except for Gull. This is the moment for them to prove themselves as a part of the pride powerful orcs, so they rush in all together to beat him. But their time is not here yet since their age is not yet ripe. It was only a minimalistic movement, but it feels as if a giant hand is approaching. Flicked Mudu, blasting him away with a high speed. Crosses his hand and instantly wiped both of the orc children beside him. Now all that is left is just Gull. With a strong flick, also deletes Gull from the game. But a strange thing occurred for once. Is sure that he aimed right to Gull's head, but now Gull is still in front of him cowering. No, there is no way. It must have been luck, thought to himself, since he grabbed with a single hand without much effort. See, he is just playing with him and Gull is only a weak orc child. But Gull kicked the crap out of teeth. Haha, he does look ridiculous with only 3 strands of hair standing up. But you shouldn't make fun of He is still one of the strongest leaders in the Greed Demon army. Sends Gull flying through the field at bullet speed. But an elderly orc stops Gull only with one hand. This old orc is called Gurin, one of the elder of the orc village Bubis. He arrives at the battlefield since one of the orc soldiers barged into his house. He casually strolls through the battlefield as if he is walking in the park. And eventually Gurin finds Lozen in the ground half dead. He might have a straight face here, but if you look at his eyes closely, then you will realize that Gurin is infuriated out of his mind. Even is able to feel the sharp, prickly aura of Gurin from afar. Decides that this fight should not be taken lightly, so he activates his soul cast. With his soul, he forms a pair of drill in both hands. This situation is looking dire for since now he cannot sense Iser right. Desperately, went for the offensive since that is the only thing he knows to do, but Gurin stays calm and collected. Gurin collected his dragon spirit beast on his right hand and transforms only his right hand to that of a dragon. Gurin holds the destructive spinning drill of as if it is a toy. He grips the drill, stopping and disintegrate it with ease. The drill that is formed with soul should be 10 times as strong as steel, but this old man crushes it like it is a cookie. Gurin took confusion as an opportunity to blink behind him and end him with a strong chop enhanced with the dragon power, caving in not only skull to his body, but the entire ground beneath him. All that is left from the strike. No, there is nothing left. Everything is destroyed. He is sent to hell with only a single strike. It was a long, long night for the Bubis orc village. A lot have fallen and blood has been spilled, but the outcome is not what we expected. The demons is slain not to see another sunrise. The tale of the strongest orc, or the beastmaster known as Gurin, the elder of Bubis, continues. Also Gerk, known as the beast, who Gurin trained personally and granted the Bert spirit as the orc chief. But the aftermath of the fight, I think the one who is responsible for most of the destruction is not the demons, but Gerk and Gurin. Since everyone is safe now, let's just leave it at that. The night keeps falling and their story continues for now. But there is another whose story shall continue too. He perseveres through the tight grip of death around him, crawls his way out of the hellhole which is Bubis village, and runs away. It is Eyes all right. He limps his way out of the village since the village chief is too distracted with their own squabble. These orcs are definitely the real deal, handpicked by God to be a legend. Eyes all right swears that he will be back for revenge, but after being chased by his auntie with a knife for stealing meat, bumping his head on a log, running around the forest, climbing the shaky mountain, getting disciplined by the chief, falling off the cliff, drinking his own piss, getting chased by a fire beast, falling off the cliff again, carrying a wounded elf, burning his ass from a fireball, crashing into a ramen stall, getting thrown by a demon, and finally witnessing the most epic chop in his life. Gull's day is officially ended. 2 days later, Gull is still fast asleep in the Orc Village hospital. Let's have chill story time after that intense fight. His adventure will resume again soon. His mouth is wide open, so Mosquito Son curiosity gets a better of him. A mosquito goes inside of his mouth and oh god, what the hell, doctor? Bruh, you didn't even get the mosquito. You did it just to hit Gull, didn't you? This is Buta, the doctor of the Orc Village Bubis. Well, at least our main character Gull is now awake. As soon as he woke up, he insulted Buta. It seems their relationship is close because Gull always ends up wounded and Buta always took care of him. Damn, now I know why Gull enjoy going to the hospital. You rat bastard, you just wanted to be buried under those massive jugular, didn't you? Speaking of which, now that we know Gull is here, where is his companion? The Dark Elf Adrenes, who is responsible for all of this. Apparently he is with the Elder. Most importantly, Gull is also summoned by the Elder Gurren as soon as he wakes up. So he went to the Elder's hut. You little cheeky bastard, you just had to do it in the end, didn't you? While on the way to the Elder's hut, Gull wonders if he is the only orc children called by the Elders. Dur replied that the other orc children are currently helping the reconstruction of the village because they defied order and caused more injuries. If the other orc children are punished heavily because they stayed, then what about Gull, who is basically the perpetrator of this whole conundrum? Just thinking about the consequences, now Gull jitters in fear. In the Elder's hut, the village chief requests an orc soldier for a casualty report. The orc soldier with a hat answers obediently. There is 32 warriors wounded. 28 are now able to walk while 4 are still in bed. 3 dead and already taken care of. Only 1 body of the demon is found. Oh boy, here comes the fun part. The damage of property. 3 market stalls were destroyed by demons, and 11 by Chief Garrick. And so much more. God damn it, dude. You purposely destroyed more than the demons just for a ramen, you big ramen-bellied orc. Even Lozen. A huge crater is left behind because of her, but speaking of crater, the huge hole left by Elder Gurren is uncoverable. Don't ignore this, you did the most damage with just a single chop, Gurren. And the one responsible for all of this mess is here, Sergeant Braba Gull reporting for duty. My god, these orcs cannot stop playing around even when they are in an official meeting. And what the hell, Dura is Garrick's sister? How did one turn so beautiful and one turn into a goddamn monster? I won't even ask anymore. Adressen, whatever his name, is also present in the meeting. And now with all of the player in the board, let's start with the real deal. First of all, Adressen apologizes for all of the damages that he has caused for the village. He introduces once more to the Orc Elder and asks for a private meeting with the elders. And here he told them his story. He was given the mission to track the demons and retrieve the artifact they stole from the elves. Adressen finally found their base and infiltrate the base alone. Using the elven cloak technique, Adressen is able to conceal his presence. What whole new world awaits Adressen inside the Greed Demon Army castle? They may not see Adressen with the cloak skill on, but he still needs to be wary and be light with his feet. Every second counts since his stealth skill consumes heaps of his mana. Intense undercover mission where even a single mistake can spell the doom of his life. Adressen thought that it will be hard to locate their treasure room, but his expectations are shattered since there it is, behind the door with a statement, "Greed is good." It is not even locked, no guards anywhere in sight. Piles and mountains of gold or treasure lies everywhere in the room. This is obviously a trap. No matter how he looks at it, he thought that, but he decides to YOLO. Adressen is almost out of mana. He is this close to completing his last mission. He grabbed the artifact, but since he needs to deactivate his stealth mode to open his dimensional pouch, he messed up letting his guard down. A ferocious beast was there all along. If he just grabbed the artifact and deactivated his cloak outside, then he will stay undetected. But now that this scenario turns out to be the worst one. The beast is not just any beast, it is an elf hunter, his natural predator. Not only that, every demon is now alerted. Shit, everything is over now. The worst part has not yet come. Fiend and Eyes Alright is currently on the playing blackjack on one of the castle room. Adressen greatest misfortune turns out to be being targeted by both of them. Adressen's stealth is all for naught, for the beast is capable of smelling elves from miles away. But he is still undetectable from the demons, so he can just outrun the beast. But suddenly the beast released a smoke that unveiled him. Adressen's only miscalculation is the presence of Iser Right. Iser asked Sump to give him a coin. With the coin that he levitates with his magic on his right hand, Iser launched the coin with the speed of an action bolt rifle bullet. Truly a monster of his kind. Iser Right sniped Adressen from miles away with a coin straight to Adressen's abdomen. The force of the coin is so strong that it blows Adressen away. After the smoke dissipates, Adressen mana has run out and his cloak is lifted. And just like that, I thought my life is wait, what? Why did you ruin my monologue? What do you want, Garrick? Oh, but for fuck's sake, they are just hearing my story like it is a movie or something. I risked my life, goddammit, and these guys grabbing a popcorn. Adressen thought to himself. Where was I? Oh right, well, Adressen can easily escape if it's only against the demons, but goddammit, Gull, stop interrupting my narration. You know what, I fucking give up. Thanks for watching the video. These orcs are just too much for me. Adressen finally loses it. He yells shut up to the orc to keep them quiet. Are we good now, lads? Can I continue? Thanks for confirming, Lozen. Back to the story. Adressen was hit hard, but he was able to block some of the impact with his string vest, but the coin poked a hole right through it. All he has now is some mana to heal himself, but he needs to stop the bleeding unless he wants to die. But now Adressen location has been compromised by Iser Right and Fiend. Both of them jumped out the window. Iser Wright knew already that Adrenis is still fine after receiving his coin attack. They went to chase Adresin the rest of the time. Adresin is not that short-tempered. He is trying to be modest as a matter of fact, but the only thing he really hates is that smug face of his. It might be a simple hit, but it is basically an insult for a dark elf assassin to be hit since they are a proud assassin race. All he could think back then was hitting that demon back once. So, he lets loose of himself for a while. Play the epic music, please. With his omnidirectional mobility gear, he zooms across the battlefield, using the smoke as his cover and flying to the blind spot of the beast. Suddenly, Adresin appears from the smoke and slashes the back of the neck of a demon. His movement is comparable to that of a legendary Titan Slayer. That's right, it is Sasha, the best 100 Titan Slayer. Nope, I am just kidding. Is it this guy? Oops, wrong picture. But are you ready for the beat drop, lads? Yeah, that is always the most satisfying part of the song. Dance like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Adrenis is so fast that the demons could not keep up with him, going from target to target. And now for the main course, the revenge for the demons who have humiliated him. Adrenis rushes to Iser Wright in up direction. For the finisher, of course, he went with the iconic Levi spinning blade move. But the rest is history, or a fantasy story that ended up becoming a horror story for Adrenis. He lost. Thankfully, losing made Adrenis regain his logic. Back then he prioritized emotion over his mission. Now he is out of mana. Days after days he keeps running away. The only thing driving him forward is the anger that he had. But then he met Gull. That is how Adrenis' backstory ends, and the rest went on like we knew. Gull is the only orc that Adrenis has seen run so fast. What, is this the same troublemaker Gull? All of the Elder Orc thought. Adrenis met with Gull after 3 days of constant running. Unfortunately, at the time his wounds were reopened. At that moment all hope is lost and he is ready to die. At that time he passed out, but the next thing he knew when he wake up is Gull came back to carry him to the village. But the Elder Orc finds it unacceptable, since if all of this did not happen then they could have avoided the casualties, since they can just hand the Dark Elf over to the demons. But the Orc Chief reminds everyone that in the end, the Orcs are the one that chooses to fight to save Adrenis. The kind word of Garrick, a simple gesture of do not mind it, we will take care of the rest. A huge burden is suddenly lifted off Adrenis' shoulder. I never felt unfamiliar sense of warmth and care even in my home country. Before long, Adrenis could not help but drops his tears of relief. He bows down to all of the orc before them and he thanked them, knowing that words are not enough for their forgiveness even after losing several lives. The orcs are definitely a race to be respected with. Losing several lives is normal for them, but they always fight for a noble reason. Most importantly, they are selfless and strong-willed. Once again, Adrenis regained his composure and formally thanked them again. His survival is nothing short of a miracle. The orc's hospitality keeps on getting better and better. Even when Adrenis stepped his foot on the village for the first time, he is already a part of them. Even Gurin is personally close to the Lord of the Dark Elves for quite some time now. Don't believe him? Maybe you should try not the dragon chop but the I am telling the truth chop. Gurin and the Lord of the Dark Elves were once allies for a common cause. Even Adrenis knows this story of the Orc Beastmaster who was once a part of the hero's party. No wonder these orcs are stupid, overpowered men. What the fuck? No one in the village actually knew who the hell Gurin is. But again, in the face of the Almighty, every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess. Although Gurin is retired now and living on the countryside, he was once feared with the power like the dragon tattoo in his back who raised the hero's party flag numerous times. In the meantime, speaking of Hero's Party, it has been 2 days since the fight, but Iser Wright is still fainted in the forest near the village. A loud shriek suddenly appears from the Treant Lord of the Forest. Impasse slams the ground with both of his hand and magically sharp-edged wood starts to appear from the ground. The attack is aimed at a beaten-up human party. All their weapons are chipped and their body injured. The attack of the Treant Lord launches the human party several feet up in the air. Wait, no, it is not the attack that launched them upwards. They intentionally did it to dodge the attack of the Treant Lord. This is Red, a silver adventurer swordsman. He asked Faye, the magician of the party, to boost him, but she is out of mana. In fact, everyone is exhausted while the Treant keeps regenerating even after a whole day of fight. But as soon as the Treant Lord lifts its branch arm up, the light inside the Treant Lord fades and the Treant Lord falls to the ground dead. A person appears on top of the Treant Lord head. It is Spade, one of the few platinum adventurer in the world. Everyone is surprised that Spade is able to defeat the Treant Lord that they fought so hard, but Spade just casually tells them to leave and salvage what they can. Faye wanted to repay the favor, but Red knows that Spade is the lone wolf type adventurer. One day later they are still in the forest, but Red decided that it is time to head back home since they got what they wanted already, and obviously this big ball of cowardice is homesick. but Strum signals everyone to stop since he saw a dead body lying in the forest. Red recognizes the dead body since it has blue skin and no ears. It must have been a demon. After identifying the demon, they became more wary. Even if the demon looks dead, but they need to confirm it or even finish it off while it is defenseless. So they approach the demon to try and end its life. Suddenly, an ace of spade is drawn. Red is the first to notice that a rain of attack is already on top of their head as they are approaching the demons. Red gets ready to jump. He used the Blade Fury skill that allows him to spin incredibly fast and intercepts all of the attack from above. Thanks to his quick reaction, everyone is safe for now. But they notice something weird after Red parries the attack. It is not an arrow but an ace of spade card sharp enough to make people bleed. Then the culprit is none other than Spade. He drops down in front of them and claimed that the demon is his to hunt. He throws his card to the air. With his magic power, the cards grew and is suspended in the air for a while. The cards in the air falls down rapidly at the human party. Is he trying to kill a fellow human just to poach them for a demon kill? No, Spade is not that petty. All the cards did not touch the adventurer party but formed a square around them. Spade has no intention of killing them. Instead, he forms a box of heart cards around them, trapping them inside indestructible boxes filled with darkness. This weird behavior coming from Spade. If he wants the demon dead, then he will just let the adventurers kill it. But this trap can only mean one thing. He is actually trying to save the demons. Spade's true intention is revealed. He is trying to save Isa Right. The adventurers are grateful that Spade saved them the other day, but he is trying to save a demon that is the natural enemy of humans. But Spade didn't care. Red is enraged by Spade since the action of his is twisted and demented. But Spade has his own reason to do this. Just what did we not know? What is the relationship between Spade and Isa Right? Why did a human adventurer try to save a demon? We will find out when their fate allows them to meet Gull again. Speaking of Gull, let's take the story back to the Orc village Bubit. The orcs are gathered near the announcement hall where the biggest tree stands in the Orc village. They are gathered here since the elder orcs have come to terms regarding the events that happened a couple of days ago. God damn it, they cannot even say Adressin name right. The orc chief decide to welcome Adressin as if he is one of the orcs. Get ready to receive the special orc hospitality where everyone is burly and manly. And finally, Adressin will not be staying for long. As soon as he is completely recovered, then he will be setting out, so be kind to him. That is all. Everyone is dismissed back to your station, everyone. If no one noticed, the orc chief has stuffed himself with 100 bowls of ramen before this. That is why his belly is sticking out and you can play some sick beats with it. God, these orcs are still the same as before, and Gull will never change since it is time again to conquer the mighty mountains and runs through everything. With the power of time skip and editing magic, we skip towards when Adressin Ranwarin is already healed. He and the orc elders went inside the orc blacksmith to have an important discussion. He rushes in the restaurant again just like the start of episode 1. This time he is thirsty for some water, and he is here to run with it. Instead of getting water, a knife zooms past towards Gull. It almost hit the elder orc and Adressin dodges it calmly. Dude, that is no way to greet someone. But the orc chef sure is angry this time because of Gull not serving a wyvern egg for the guest. For the punishment from the orc chef, Gull needs to serve the guest and bring them food. Just why the hell is Gull even here? Suddenly Gull heard that Elder Gurren wants someone to accompany, ran back to the elf kingdom to bring back one of his people. Gull is so excited since this might be the chance for him to go on an adventure, so he said his thought out loud. But Elder Gurren and Chief Garrick kept on discussing. The orc that he wants to bring back is the best orc blacksmith, or rather the best blacksmith in the world even. Just what the hell is up with these overpowered orcs? Also, Elder Gurren wants to send a personal message to a person he calls Jess. This turns out to be the Lord of the Elves with the name of Jeshuro Lethrin, whatever his name is. I cannot read Elven. But why did they want to call the best blacksmith home all of a sudden when they are strong even without weapons? There is a clear reason behind it. It is because of the aftermath of killing one of the demons can lead into a war with the demons. The elder orcs knew that the demons are a vengeful race where if you kill one then 100 will come back seeking revenge. Gull heard all of this discussion from under the table, but he cannot help but feel somewhat responsible too when Rand makes that face where he felt responsible for what he caused for the orcs. Elder Gurren once again reminds Rand to not dive in regrets. The mission that the Lord of the Elves gave Rand is more important. The artifacts would be dangerous in the hand of the demons. That is why having one orc accompany Rand becomes crucial for the mission too. God damn it, Garrick, we are trying to be serious in this conversation. That's right, you ramen-bellied orc. All you think is just food and food. Now back to the problem. Who to send out of all the orcs? This is a huge chance for Gull to go on an exhilarating adventure, so he slides out and yelled out his mind. But the elder orcs gives Gull no mind. Garrick mentioned that all of the orcs' warriors are still injured and the rest of the uninjured become the manpower to rebuild the village. I, Bob the fucking Builder, survived, my man. They cannot send Lozen either since they need her wits here, because the chief is certified Pepik and the orc messenger Aboy is too clumsy for the job. To find the right person, Garrick redirects the discussion to Ran. Just what type of person did Ran want as a company? The man grabs his favorite lettuce and chomps on it happily. With all due respect, he said to the orc elder that he is a solo player every time, but if ever need one, then he needs someone who can read a map since they will travel a long way. Oh, Gull's smart, so Gull can read a map. He asks for his auntie for a Gillemon, and she grabs it all right. She grabs it right. But instead of a Gillemon, Gull received a spirit bomb straight to his chest. Gull crashes through the entire table and chairs. Alright, we get it, come on Gull, say the magic word. There you go. If you look at it closely, the bag looks like a cow. He innocently walked with the huge bag that covers his whole entire body to a table. Then he whips out a map and a pencil out of the Gilman. He draws a map to show his expertise in the layout of the nearby area. But the elder orcs and Ran gives Gull no mind again. Would you look at that, here comes the troublemaker orcs to disturb Gull. Kagan asks the auntie again to give them a pencil since he wants to draw with Gull. Oh god, he did not say please, so here comes the bad-mannered kid hunting knife boomerang. Everyone, now you have done messed up, say your prayers now. But all hail Moody, the one who rule above the children. These clowns are slowly getting to my nerves, Ran thought to himself. He needs someone with a good sense of direction. Will Gull show off his skill again? Nope, now with everyone here they are just messing and playing around. Auntie Chef Orc sees Kagan vandalizing her favorite table. Ran also needs someone who is extra fast, and his patience for this savage rowdy orcs has run out. Oh god, this is even worse than being chased by Fiend, God save their souls. Thankfully now Gull can show off his skills again. If it is about being fast, no one can match Gull's speed. When he started to move his legs easily, he outruns the other children, even zooming the entire restaurant in an instant. But most importantly, the trait that Ran is looking for: a company. He needs someone who is not loud. Yeah, Gull, it seems impossible. I think it is best for you to give up now and find a new adventure. As the sun descended behind the horizon, casting a warm, amber glow across the sky, the Bubis Orc village was enveloped in the tranquil embrace of evening. All of the orcs are still busy with their task. But this beautiful orange skies today marks the departure of a certain friend from the orc village. Even the kids are rushing towards the village gate since he is about to depart soon. He grabbed his new coat and his adventurer backpack. A dress and Ran were in the dark elf from the Redstone Forest shall set out to return to his homeland. What, Garrick? Bro, you just wanted to look cool, didn't you? What's the difference with what you said with what Elder Gurren said? But their awkwardness and thoughtfulness are what makes them so warmth, as if you are constantly embraced by loving hands of family. Even when Ran is about to leave, he is still showered by love and care by the orcs. He is given fish, couple of meats, basket of fresh fruits and spices, a farmer hat so he won't get darker, get it, he is a dark elf, whatever this thing is, and finally, out of all things, a chicken as a souvenir. God, these orcs might still be a savage race after all. On the top of the hill of Bubis Orc village, Garrick and Gurren watches over the entire village and Ran's departure. Garrick wonders if they made the right decision. Elder Gurren replies with a warm smile in his face, saying that this will be a good opportunity for him to finally see his mom again. It has been 5 years since she sets out of the orc village, and by fate, she is now in the elf kingdom. You guys did not forget about the company for Ran, right? Of course, he is not going to set out alone, because the orc that is going to be adventuring with him is the one and only Gull. Everyone is surprised that Gull is the chosen one, but more importantly, they are proud of him. Finally, he gets the chance to go out on an adventure that he always dreamt of since he was just a little orc. It is fate indeed that both of them met together. Speaking of Gull, while in the fight against the demons, the orc chief Garrick sensed a strong, faint, unidentified aura in the battlefield. Elder Gurren sensed it too and noticed the same thing as Garrick. It was Gull that time. Remember when Gull kicked Ump's teeth off his face? His leg suddenly turned red and there is a faint aura in his leg. Elder Gurren suspects that Gull accidentally drank something that he must have never drank. Gull may not know it yet, but because he drank the secret vial, his body turned into a blood orc. Just what the hell is a blood orc, you asked? A small pouch flies towards Gull and he catches with both of his hands. In the back of the crowd, Gull noticed his Auntie Chef Orc. God damn it, these orcs are hitting me straight in the kokoro. Gull is forever grateful for his auntie for taking care of him all this time. Oh, about the blood orc. Oops, look at the time has run out. I guess you have to keep watching to find out as Gull embark on a journey of a lifetime. Let's freaking go. A tribute to my favorite subscriber. Gull and Ran instantly runs at full speed ahead towards the Elven Kingdom. Ran still finds it unbelievable that Gull is able to keep up with his fast pace even while carrying a heavy backpack. But Gull is still as loud as an elephant, so it will hinder Ran in his espionage mission. At first Ran was against having Gull as a company since yes he is very loud, so he asked Elder Gurren to reconsider. But Elder Gurren trusts only one thing from Gull, which is his absolute speed, and Gurren is sure that Ran can handle Gull. Ran still feels dissatisfied at first, but Ran tries to think positive. At the very least, Gull is good as a cargo for him to carry his souvenirs. Speaking of souvenir, this mother clucker is also following Ran and Gull, although they seem to not care about it. The once vibrant colors of the day now gave way to the subtle shades of night once more, and the world seemed to settle into a quiet stillness as darkness crept in. Gull and Ran decide to camp under a huge mushroom. Gull is well adapted with the wild survival life, so he easily starts a fire with his survival kit to cook food, but Ran advised Gull to put off the fire since they needed to stay low, especially at night, so he gives Gull some elven bread. Gull accepts the offer from Ran since he is interested in elves' food, but as soon as he took one bite, "Bruh, you could have spit it elsewhere if you don't like it. Yes, it might not have good flavor, but it keeps the belly full." Suddenly there is a sound from the bush. A surprise attack from a monster. Nope, it is just the chicken that the orcs gave them. It took every single drop of strength of the chicken to keep up with Gull and Ran. "Oh, the chicken can speak, to let me translate it. You piece of shits, I almost lost track of you. Alright, this time we will not forget to bring you along." They will definitely forget about the chicken. Now it is Gull's time to present his orc cuisine. He opens one of his wrapped lunch balls. He rolls his lunch balls on top of the fire to heat it up evenly. Now it is time for the main dish. He looks over at the chicken menacingly. General Chicken reports to the master, "It has been an honor serving you, master, although all I have done is run alongside you. Now it is time to cook it." But Ran screamed at Gull to not cook it since he wants it as a pet. "What the hell, brah? It is a chicken you are talking about. Have you ever tried fried chicken or chicken adobo? I swear you elf people never had flavorful dish in your life, didn't you?" Ran brought out the fish that the orcs gave him. "In exchange, just please do not hurt the chicken, Gull." "Well, as long as it is meat, then it is fine for Gull." The lunch bowl has two holes for a purpose. When the content inside is hot enough, hot steam will come out of the hole and makes a whistling sound that indicates that the food inside is cooked, revealing a beautiful assortment of root vegetables and meat. Gull gave one half of the lunchbox to Ran. Ran has traveled the whole world for his mission, but he never seen this dish before, an aroma and look that raises the appetite even before eating. But for Gull, this is normal food for him to eat since her auntie chef always make it for him. The dish is called bagel. According to Gull's auntie, she got the dish while she was a chef in training under the wild garlic god on Ramsey, the greatest chef of all time. In a far, far away land, there is a tree in a village called coconut. Inside its fruit was a sweet juice, and on the outside this hard shell called bagel. But did you know coconut is not a nut, but it is a cocoa fruit? Alright, that is enough meme. I feel old knowing that meme. It is crazy that every single naming of the dish rhymes with Gull's name. Gull's aunt must have loved him very much. After their belly is full, Ran put out the fire, and they rolled their sleeping mattress. Gull instantly went to sleep, but Ran is still awake. Ran grows more and more attached to the chicken pet that is given to him. From now on, Ran will call it Illuminata Incinata. I will just call him General Motherclucker. The night slowly surrendered to the growing light as the world awoke to a new day. Sounds of chicken clucking can be heard from afar as the sun rises once again. Gull gives the mushroom more vitamin, of course. Wait, chicken. Did General Motherclucker just evolved? Stronger feet, whatever that red thing is, and white feather. General Motherclucker has evolved from a chicken into a rooster. Much wow, I am so impressed. Now we can make a juicier fried chicken, I guess. Yeah, I agree with you too, Gull. The name that Ran gave for the chicken is too long. Alright, we will call it Lomi for now on, but if you want me to change it, comment down below. Now let's resume our adventure. Gull, Ran and Lomi travels by foot again with full speed. Not long after, they were basked by the sunlight at the end of the thick forest. After exiting the forest, they are met with the tall and dangerous Wyvern's Mountain, a home of ferocious wyvern. This is the farthest that Gull has ever been. Any further from here starts his real adventure. Gull is determined to get a wyvern egg while they are there. Ran opposes the idea since they have to head straight to the Elf Kingdom, but Gull is motivated to get the wyvern egg no matter what. Why, you ask? Well, it is because the wyvern's egg is delicious. Ran still tries to stop Gull with an elven bread, but Gull just smacks the elven bread away. Why have I gotten into? Ran thought to himself. Ran had no other choice but to follow Gull. It was windy up the Wyvern Mountain, but they kept climbing and climbing with a price on the side. Wyvern is a dragon race that lives on top of the mountain, a mythical creature that resembles a dragon, but has only 2 legs instead of 4. It has a long, pointed tail and large wings that enable it to fly. But more importantly, the egg of Wyvern is 10 times creamier and more delicious from chicken egg. Gull and the gang arrive on top of the Wyvern Mountain. There seems to be no wyverns around nearby to guard the egg, so this is his golden chance. This is nothing new for Gull, since even when he was a little child, he has always grabbed the wyvern egg for special occasion in the village. Ran just wants this to be over soon so they can resume their journey to the Elven Kingdom. Alright, Gull told Ran to hold the gilliman and hide in the bush with Lomi. It is now time for Gull the expert adventurer to shine. Gull inserts his head into a bush and picked up some of the leaves to be placed on the top of his head. Goddamn, he looks so much like a broccoli. With this smart camouflage, the wyvern could not see Gull approaching the wyvern egg. Or not. The wyvern checks his nest once more. There the wyvern sees. Goddamn it, Gull, you're stupid but is showing. Now you are definitely dead. What have you done? Oh, thank God the wyvern is stupid. Gull big brain 100 IQ move is working. Finally, Gull is right in front of the delicious wyvern egg. Now all that is left is to quickly grab it and get out fast. But all of a sudden, a random body crashes in front of Ran, a heavily injured humanoid with small body, pointy ears, and yellow skin. Just what is a goblin doing here? Why is it heavily injured and how did it get here in the first place? Ran Ears is capable of hearing things from a mile away. Quickly he travels to the place where a loud sound is coming. Just at the foot of the wyvern's mountain, Ran saw a stampede of goblin that is currently fighting against the wyvern. This is a bad and dangerous situation for them. They are a special kind of goblins that are capable of hunting wyvern. They are vicious, and their number is uncountable. It is not wise to confront them, so Ran decides to flee. But when Ran ran to the place he was before, oh my God, Gull is not there. Where did he go? Suddenly, the biggest wyvern lets out a loud shriek that everyone in the area can hear. It is because our stupid Gull is greedy, so he grabbed the largest egg in the nest, which by chance belongs to the biggest wyvern in the mountain. Yes, Ran, that just happened under your nose. This situation gets even worse with the wyvern chasing Gull and the wyvern hunting goblin marching closer. The goblin is quick and nimble with their feet. Most importantly, they have no fear of getting hurt or dying. But wyverns is not a race to be laughed at. Its tail is like a whip, razor-sharp claw, and giant wings. Not only that, but they are also intelligent and hunts as a pack. The wyverns on top of the mountain are able to cast wind magic, and their coordination is on point. There is no way a goblin can defeat a wyvern. That is what this goblin is currently thinking right now. Just look at the difference in size and power. There is no way a tiny weak race like goblin can defeat a wyvern that can fly and all-powerful. But the goblin specialty is not its power in individual. But the goblin race army is never ending. Just like an amoeba, they multiply endlessly and uncontrollably. That is why, despite fighting a giant bee, goblins never loses, since they kept on coming back relentlessly. Ran does not want any part of this, so he grabbed Lomi and the gilliman in his back, but suddenly he realized something important. God damn it, Gull, why is the backpack so heavy when you are traveling far? You packed your entire fucking collection of porn book, didn't you? You damn bastard. Speaking of Gull, where is he now? Oh, there he is, sliding down another cliff. Damn, the relationship of Gull and the cliff is still a better love story than Twilight. But this time it is different from before. Nope, never mind, nothing changes. He is still being chased by a monster. This time it is a wyvern. Although the goblins are expert in hunting wyvern, it is still not enough to fight against a group of wyvern. They decide to flee on a little cave first to catch their breath. But suddenly outside of the cave their Gull appears sliding down, and naturally the wyvern follows as well. The goblin reports to the boss that there is a wyvern that is down low now. The goblin boss commands everyone to get ready to hunt. The goblin group rushes down the cliff to hunt down the wyvern with the hope of evolving to a hobgoblin while Gull is distracting the wyvern. Well, Gull isn't much of a distraction since he is weak. The wyvern slams Gull down to the ground and he keeps rolling for a while, until eventually he hits a rock along with the wyvern egg. Gull is sturdy after all. All of the egg yolk and white combines to cover Gull's whole body weight as he dead. Now is the time to hunt the stray wyvern since it is close to the ground, the goblin gang boss Kai thought. Let me introduce the whole cast of the goblin gang. There is Ronson the goblin smart and Magarin the goblin fast. Capon's the goblin idiot, Creek the goblin daredevil, and finally Lukultai the goblin soprano. The brave wyvern hunting goblin gang spreads out ready to jump on the back of the wyvern to kill it. Goblin boss Kai whips out his blade that he peed on and stabs the wyvern's wing. Not stopping there, he pulls his blade backward and spins to cut the wyvern's huge wing. Immediately the wyvern shrieks in pain. Even the almighty dragon that ruled the sky falls to the ground if you cut the wing with blade covered in piss. All of the goblin gang assembles near the fallen wyvern. Kai commands Magarin to block the wyvern's path. The quick goblin swiftly covers the flank, not giving the fallen wyvern a path to escape. This will be easy. This one is already in the bag since they outnumbered them, and decrease its mobility is what the goblin thought at first. The dragon rises once again, but strangely the wyvern is not even trying to escape. The biggest wyvern in the whole mountain is before them, now with eyes glowing blue enraged. But if it is alone, then there will always be a way to beat it. Kai commands Magarin to immobilize the wyvern. Magarin swiftly dashes forward and slashes one of the wyvern's legs. He signals everyone to go, and everyone did so synchronously. Although the wyvern is ready with its tail to wipe them out, but the goblins dodge it perfectly. Not done yet with their combo, Lukultai steps on Ronson while in midair to use him as a footing to get closer to the wyvern. She throws her spear towards the eyes of the wyvern. Although the wyvern had a wing protection up, but the unexpected spear hits the left eye of the wyvern. Did I ever say that their combo is done yet? No, it is time for Creek and Capon epic booster play. Whoops, a swing and a miss. Never mind, some of the goblins are stupid after all. Speaking of stupid, Gull is now conscious after hitting the rock hard with his head, but the egg that he retrieved now is all over his body. Gull, I think you can get angry later. There is a life or death fight behind you. I think venting your anger on a rock is not going to do what the fuck. Never mind, rageful problem requires rageful solution. Gull kicks a tiny pebble straight to the wyvern's neck, but somehow the rock packs so much punch. Finally, a chance. The wyvern is staggered because its left eye was impaled by a spear. So, the goblin boss Kai and Magarin decide to unleash their finisher move, so they jump together. Boss Kai stands on top of Magarin's leg and Magarin kicks Boss Kai away to launch him towards the wyvern. The wyvern noticed the flying goblin towards him, but what he didn't notice is the rock that is traveling bullet speed towards its neck. Boss Kai slices the wyvern neck with the strength of goblins. A weak, measly goblin has subdued and sliced the neck of the almighty ruler of the sky. It seems that only Magarin noticed that the wyvern is hit by something like a meteor. The other goblins are exhilarated because the boss finished off the wyvern. Their teamwork has definitely paid off big time. Now for the MVP goblin that acted as a bait for the wyvern and kicked the stone at his Gull. Wait, Gull, no, goblin Gull is orc. Wait, because the egg makes his skin looks yellow and the cool-ass afro. They mistook Gull as just another goblin. The crazy part is because Gull literally means goblin in fairy language, a lot of misunderstanding is made. Well, Gull is stupid, but Boss Kai don't blame him because he is a Gull. From now on, the goblin will call Gull as Mars because he looks like a certain Bruno, just like his music video Uptown Funk.
This is the ice cold. My shell is separate with God. This one for demon holders, good girl. This straight master, silent, violent, living up in the city. We got jocks with the children, but pretty. I'm too hot. For the police and the fireman, I'm too hot. Make a dragon when retirement, I'm too hot. So my name, who I am, I'm too hot. And my name, but break me down. And girl said hallelujah. Girl said hallelujah. Girl said hallelujah. Cause I pop out and you go down fountain, give it to you. You 7 time and give it to you. Saturday night and give it to spot. Don't believe it, just watch. Come on, go to the don't believe it, just watch. Don't believe me, 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 just watch. Hey, hey, hey. Oh.
Wait, hold on, the music is still playing. Just where are you going, Gull? Hey, come back. Where are you taking him? Wait, hold on a minute. Alright, there Gull goes with the goblins gang. I swear this is not part of the script, he just went on with the song. Meanwhile, Ran had just recovered the gulum, and since it is a heavy giant bag, he improvised with a new reliable string note to slide down the mountain. But after sliding down to help Gull, Ran, he is nowhere to be seen. As a matter of fact, he went with the goblins. Let's go back to somebody else's story for a little bit. The lake lay before me, cloaked in a thick, impenetrable fog. The mist hung heavy in the air, obscuring the shoreline and giving the water an otherworldly quality. The only sound that we can hear is the sound of water splashing against the spade boat. Spade is in the spade boat, obviously, and the other one is Iser Right. Finally, Iser Right awakes. It has been a while since he fell unconscious near the forest of the Bubas Orc village, and now he is on Spade's boat. still injured but now covered with bandages. Luckily, he is saved by Spade and now they are heading somewhere together. They have arrived on shore. In a tiny dock bridge, Spade carries the half-dead Iser right to the ground. Blue skin, no ears, and those glimmering yellow eyes, they are definitely demons. But these demons seemed friendly, as if they are longtime friends with Spade. This time around, Spade visits his hometown to bring not a present but the vice captain of the Greed Demon Army, Iser Wright, fully covered in injuries. After dropping off Iser Wright, Spade went back since he has a business with a man called Andrew. Both of the demons went with a carriage that is pulled by a couple of grizzly bears to carry Iser Wright somewhere far away. It was a long journey, but finally they arrived at the end of the bridge where a demon clad in golden armor greets them. The demons presented the guard with something that they have been searching for a while. Immediately the demon guard brings Iser Wright to report to his captain. Speak of the demons, this is Hakogu, the Greed Army captain, and Shuyoing, the NB Army captain. Two of the most powerful figures in the demon world. Of course, the concern of this meeting is not Iser Wright's safety, but the artifact that he is supposed to guard. Sadly, Iser Wright do not have the artifact because Rand stole it. Hack finds it outrageous that not only Iser Wright didn't deliver the artifact, but he comes half dead. Well, there are no choice since the orcs before them is strong. Orcs, nowhere in the demon history that said a mere orc can defeat a demon. Hack became furious since he thought that his vice captain is lying before him, and he plans to end his life. Hack was about to end Iser Wright's life with his golden gauntlet. But as soon as Iser Wright mentioned the Beastmaster, Shuya taps on the golden gauntlet, stopping it as if defying the laws of physics. What is he like? Shuya asked. The Beastmaster was strong, but most importantly the orc had this special ability called the Spirit Beast. Shuya knows this very well, so he called Captain Hakogu to lend him his ear for a while. What evil plan have they cooked together? Good news is that they are not planning to kill off Iser Wright anymore. But bad news, this will be hell more painful than death. Just what did they do to Iser Wright? That have to wait for another time. This time let's look back to the human party story. Red and the gang is currently in the guild hall. They are here to report what had happened to them regarding the sighting of demons and how Spade is there to save Iser Wright. This is Franz Zeiger van Forsberg, the guild master. After receiving the report, he commands them to leave the situation up for him to handle. But when they are about to leave, the guild master asked what happened with the Treant Lord impasse, since he requested them to get a branch of the Treant Lord. You see, they forgot about it. Well, we cannot blame them, right? It was mind-blowing. They had a crazy fight against the Treant Lord. Spade revelation of being a traitor, the demon lying in the ground. Please, anything but repeating the quest. Commence operation, singing Amelie. I am only human after all. So don't put your blame on me, okay? You guys should stop. Obviously, they aren't forgiven by the guild master. They are tasked by the guild master to watch over the tryout for the adventurer entrance exam. Guys, please stop blaming this big dumb oaf. Focus on the job. Someone is not absent to the fight. Enough talking, let's continue with the tryout fight. From the left corner we have Cross, one of the adventurer trainee. His specialty weapon is a sword and shield that balances attack and defense. From the right corner we have Shaku, also an adventurer trainee. He wields a halberd that is deadly in mid-range. For Red and the gang, this fight is just an entertainment before they all go for goblin hunting tomorrow, since the goblins have abducted a lot of young female human. Why did they abduct female human, you ask? If you watched Goblin Slayer enough, you should know what they do, but in this parallel universe it might mean that a Goblin King has appeared. It was just a sparring match to determine their rank, but Shaku's face suddenly turned grim and a lot of bloodlust is released. He plunges straight toward Cross with his massive halberd and attacked Cross, but Cross is able to parry the attack perfectly. Just what the hell is this high-level fight? They are on par, but this is definitely not beginner-level fight. This is Canopus, one of the lively human towns where sounds of children playing on the street and the rowdy markets can be heard everywhere in the town. As a result of Cross and Shaku fight, the whole training ground area is destroyed. Even the audience spot is not safe. As for who wins, well, Shaku is being carried away on a stretcher. Cross had won the fight against Shaku, but just at what cost? He is being held by Red and Strum. The Gold Adventurer asked Red what happened to the fight. Hey Red, you are flattering the Gold Adventurer too much now. Well, you better take responsibility for the other contestant injury than the training ground. Most importantly, you Cross, you may have a lot of talent, but you should learn how to control it. If the Gold Adventurer didn't arrive in time to shoot away the sword that Cross was wielding, well, even without the sword, Cross is already capable of destroying most of the training ground. Well, let us just put all the blame to Red for now. As long as you understand, then it will be fine. Now back to the topic at hand. The adventurer mentioned a couple of things about the goblin raid that is going to happen tonight. Well, see you tonight. No rest for you, Red. Hey, you did fail the last quest and now you failed to watch over a simple tryout. Well, since part of the blame lies on Cross as well, Red decides to bring Cross along as well to make Cross work for him instead for the goblin raid. Speaking of goblins, meanwhile at Gull's side, the sun has set as the goblin gang and Gull depart on their long journey. As they step forward, they are getting closer and closer to the goblins' town. How do you know they are getting closer, you ask? Well, the bones on the side of the road, spikes made by harvested sharpened tusks, gallons of blood smothered on the tree, and the dead bodies everywhere. Gull suddenly remembers what Elder Gurren said to him about goblin. They may be carefree and outgoing, but their ways are different, deadly different. Should have listened to him instead of playing around, didn't you? Gull, it is time to get out. It was fun singing Uptown Funk with you guys, but I don't think I can be friend with you guys. Oh god, now there is no escaping. This is the goblin lair that they goblins called Worsha. There are 2 cave entrances, one of them with blue light and the other one with red light. Why is there lights coming out of the cave, you asked? Well, that is because inside there are the biggest, the loudest, the craziest goblin party ever. Took you this long to notice how Gull? Well, parties are not bad, right? Magarin is thinking hard and deep, not about which entrance they should go in with, but about something that has been bothering him for a while. Ronson, one of the smartest goblins, asks Magarin what he is thinking right now. Well, Magarin has been wondering why the hell is a goblin wearing an afro and he is not wearing black skin-tight pants. Oh no, Gull's disguise will be bamboozled. Now it is time to witness the power of the smartest goblin in the world. Ronson activates his inner brain power and activated his special ability thinking power. Ronson is the smartest goblin for a reason. All of the goblins just have teeny tiny brains, so Gull is fine for now since he helped with the wyvern subjugation after all. Wait, what just happened? Gull just suddenly runs in the red light cave to distance himself from the goblins. But what he finds inside the cave would surprise him. It was unlike any other parties that Gull has seen. Lights and music covered the whole cave. Goblins can be seen everywhere on the floor, all over the hanging bridge. From boys to girl, from young to old, every goblin is here. A goblin party to celebrate the return of the wyvern slaying goblin. Boss Kai turns out to be famous after all, even before slaying a wyvern with his gang. Now let's focus on the ceremony. Boss Kai goes to the middle section of the goblin cave with a circle platform to join 3 of the contestants fighting to be a hobgoblin. In front of the altar, 3 of the elder goblins sat on the red chair. But there is something else inside the goblin cave that caught Gull's attention. A massive cage on the corner of the cave that had a being that he never seen before. A humanoid race with dead eyes and black hair. Wait, no, while they might have eyes like a dead fish, they are definitely humans. So Gull asked, why are the humans here? The stupid goblin thought that Gull was asking about the cage instead of the human inside. Apparently, it is a cage that was built by a goblin called Kolas. It is his favorite cage since it is capable of abducting underage women. So he calls it Nicolas Cage. Okay, get serious now. The humans were kidnapped to be used as a sacrifice for the Goblin King later. The shiny goblin ass is so hideous that Likultai had to choke hold Capons. One of the elder goblins commands Hades, the goblin shaman, to start the ceremony. So he invokes a fire spell and inserts it into the owl on his shoulder. The owl suddenly flies upwards and released a huge screeching sound that silenced the whole goblin crowd. Now that everyone is quiet, Hades gives the spotlight to one of the elder goblins called Kano. Yeah, I have no idea to what he is trying to say. Okay, let's try that again. Now with a loud shout, Kano announced that tonight is the night of the ceremony. Every single goblins is hyped since they have waited long for tonight. For every 25 years, the goblins have a tradition of awakening a new king with the ceremony. Now exactly 25 years have passed since the last ceremony. Here is the 4 candidate goblins that stands on the main stage. Each is representative from the 4 gang who have successfully hunted a wyvern. They will bathe in the blood of a virgin human girl and awakened as the king. But only one can emerge as the new king, who will decide only the strongest goblin remaining can become the next king. But Magarin interrupts Kano's speech. Hades angrily shouts back to silence the rude goblins that tried to stall the ceremony, but Kano strangely allows the weak goblin to speak. Hades is not sure about this since they are speaking with a measly stupid goblin, but the elder goblin is sure, so never make him say it twice. Hades allows Magarin to speak, but he needs to be careful with what comes out of his mouth. Magarin explains that there is another goblin who gave a critical blow to the wyvern before it was slain by Boss Kai. What? Just who is this crazy overpowered goblin that Magarin speaks of? Well, it is none other than Bruno Mars, the strongest goblin alive. They still haven't realized that Gull is not Mars and that he is actually an orc. Thanks to the good word that Magarin had said for Gull, now he becomes one of the contestants for the Goblin King as well. Even till the end they still did not realize that Gull is covered with wyvern's egg and he is wearing a bush. Now that all pieces are in their respective places, it is time to finally begin the ceremony. So Hades chanted Ao and all of the goblins like a mountain echoes the sound back. Hades kept on going to build up the hype. Every time he shouted his chant, all of the goblins' voices gets more synchronized and louder until eventually, alright, now everything is ready. Together all of the goblins joined their voices to chant a goblin language ritual rites. The sound echoed everywhere and shakes the entire cavity of the cave. The ritual has definitely begun. Suddenly the contestant body starts screaming because of the sudden excruciating pain they felt. It is the awakening process of the goblins, where the weak will faint and the goblins that endured will evolve. Only the goblin boss Kai seemed under control of his own body in this awakening ritual. This one is already in the bag. Boss Kai is definitely going to be the next Goblin King. That is what Boss Kai thought until he looked to his right, since he felt a golden aura coming from Gull's direction. It seemed that Gull has fainted, but suddenly his whole body vibrates uncontrollably. Golden lights start to envelop Gull's whole body and his eyes turn bright. All of the internal energy that are stored inside of Gull are forcibly brought out by the ritual, just what monster did the goblins awaken. The excess energy starts to push Gull's body upwards, making him levitate. Boss Kai could not believe his eyes for a while, because he got distracted by Gull. He suddenly loses focus and fainted. All goblin elders were surprised of the immense golden energy that Gull is radiating. Mars, or Gull's hair, starts to turn black. His skin turned brown. More importantly, he starts to smell like a good burnt egg, slowly turning into real Bruno Mars. This is going to be the strongest Goblin King ever written in the history of the world. Everyone rejoices, your savior has descended. But eventually Gull runs out of juice. All of the energy dissipates into thin air, and he falls back to Earth. With Gull falling unconscious as well. Just which goblin is going to be the Goblin King? None of them seem to awaken. Elder Kano cannot help but grin from ears to ears. Gull has exceeded his limitation and everyone's expectation. Of course, the new Goblin King will be Bruno Mars. Wait, I mean Gull. Meanwhile, Ran is still on the way to save Gull. He could barely move while carrying the heavy Guilliman. But at least he knows that Gull is still safe based from the footsteps. But Ran is more concerned because he lost all of his weapon. Dealing a single goblin is not a problem for Ran, but an army of them seemed impossible for Ran. He is not a one-man army, but a calculative spy with limited resource, so this mission is unfavorable for him. But on the way there, Ran and General Motherclucker spotted a pillar of smoke, so they decide to check it out first. It is late at night, everyone is minding their own business, but unexpectedly there is a loud bang on the door. The crew cut man decides to greet the unexpected visitor at night. It is Ran and Lomi, a dark elf and the star of the show, The Chicken. But this is not an ordinary chicken, it is a chicken gangster with the name General Motherclucker. Yeah, you better show some respect to the top G, General Motherclucker. Ran asked them if they have any handheld weapons or a dagger he can borrow. He is here because he does not have a weapon and his friend is kidnapped by a group of wyvern hunting goblin. Both of the humans jolted a little bit when they heard about the kidnapping of wyvern hunting goblin. It seemed they have some grudges against the same wyvern hunting goblin, especially the long-haired man that was sharpening his sickle. I didn't catch it as well, but the long-haired man says to come in before anyone sees them, according to the crew cut man. Ran stays on high alert after entering the small hut, since he saw a suspicious-looking golden helmet was on top of the drawers. They might look like civilian, but they are definitely not normal. But maybe they are not a bad guy, since they are kind enough to provide Ran and Lomi with a dinner. While eating dinner, Ran told both of the human about his journey with Gull. Well, it might be unusual, but they both have their own reasons for adventuring together. Because they have the same enemy, then the enemy of the enemy is a friend. This is Asen. He is just a simple farmer. On the other hand, we have Ration, and he is a survivor from the Goblin Raid 25 years ago. Let's take a look at what happened 25 years ago. It was quiet that night, so quiet that we did not notice that suddenly an ocean of goblins surrounding the village. The goblins slashed Ration's throat and left him to die. But despite having his throat ruptured, he refused to die. So, he lost his voice. But there is something important that he lost. Another part of himself. The goblin took his wife with them in front of his eyes and killing everything he loves. Ran gives his condolences to Ration. To make it less awkward, Asen proceeds with his explanations about the goblins. Just this morning, a horde of goblins attacked the village while they were away. Strangely, the goblins that usually ravage the whole village to poach it purposefully target human girls. Ran tries to put all the pieces of the clue together. Horde of goblin, wyvern hunts, human girls. Yes, Ran, this can only mean that they are trying to summon a goblin king. Yes, Ran is absolutely right. But worst of all, the goblins took another thing from Ration again. Another part of himself, his daughter Rieka the human that Gul took notice before the ritual. Tired of having his precious thing taken from him, Ration and Asen decided to infiltrate the goblin lair to rescue her. Ration and Asen already reported this tragedy to the nearest guild, but Asen is afraid they might not make it in time. Everything is collapsing together, a big war is coming. Asen requests Ran to come with them to infiltrate the goblin nest. Ration can do all the beating up, but Asen on the other hand is just a simple farmer. Since they have the same objective, they should work together. There is no backlash in working together, but Asen and Ration are just simple farmers from rural villages. How can they beat the goblin if they are not a fighter? Well, there is no need to worry. Asen might be only a simple farmer, but Ration is no ordinary man. In fact, 25 years ago, it was raining hard that day. There is pool of goblin blood everywhere. Ration was the one who killed the previous goblin king 25 years ago. While covered with wounds, goblin blood and guts, and bleeding from a slit throat, he is the infamous slayer of goblin. Yes, that is right, goblin slayer. No, not that goblin slayer. This man's wife was taken from him first, now they took his daughter. Never again will he lose someone so precious to him. As soon as Ration equipped his gladiator helmet, nothing happened. But suddenly an immense amount of aura comes gushing out from the house. The wind roared like an angry beast, tearing through the landscape with a ferocity that shook the very foundations of the earth. Speaking of strong aura, now we return to Gul the orc with a lot of secrets behind him. Just what happened to him and where is he now? He is in a room sleeping with all the other goblin ritual contestants. What is this? His hairstyle looks like Goku Super Saiyan 4. Has Gul finally turned into Super Saiyan? But Gul remembered what happened last time. Just what happened to Gul's body while the ritual happened. His body has awakened and gotten stronger than ever before. His body feels light and he feels like he can conquer all mountains. Finally, he is just hungry. Man, if only he could eat that juicelicious wyvern egg. Forget about everything. Let's just find food for now. Gul silently crawls out of the tent where he slept until he found a stream of clear water. When he looked at the pond, he saw something unusual about himself. A reflection of himself with an appearance never seen before. This is not him. He is not a goblin king. No matter how much he tries, Gul will forever be Gul the orc, the son of Gulfin from the Bubis orc village. Green skin and small body. Finally, the Gul that we once loved comes back. Mars will forever be missed. But suddenly Gul hears a chuckle while he is swimming. Just who the hell peeked at Gul while he is swimming? Perverts, he thought, so he checked on the side of the pool. There he sees Kano, the goblin elder, giving a command to Afghan the hobgoblin to finally juice the humans. So they released the female humans from the cage. Immediately, in a state of fear, the human girl screamed for help and forgiveness. Shut up, human. You should know your place and your situation. Right now you are not the one making decision, but the one that wields violence. So the human girls are led by the goblin to the sacrifice altar and they grab the first to sacrifice. It seemed that the goblins have not forgotten of the event 25 years ago too. The chain of revenge is forged with even more blood spilled. Afghan threw the human girl on top of the sacrifice altar and grabbed her right on her head. He slit the human girl and poured the fresh blood that comes out of her neck on a golden chalice. A horrifying scene, perfect for a horror movie. What did Gul just witness? This is nothing like he has ever seen before. Why did the goblins do such cruel things to those anti-humans? The answer to that is because of the man that stood behind him. The goblin king who was bathing in the pool where Gul is currently. Now with Gul's disguise off, the goblin king has identified Gul as an intruder. Gul's instinct instantly kicks in and he runs as fast as he can. But the goblin king is fast, so he grabbed Gul and slammed him to the ground. Gul hits the rock so hard that the rock is blasted into smithereens. Not giving Gul chances to recover, the goblin king grabbed Gul once more and held him high up in the air. He wonders hard and long, but he could not find any answer as to why Gul an orc is currently in the deepest part of the goblin nest. Well, we knew that Gul danced his ass all the way here as Mars. He tries so hard to get out of the goblin king's hold, but to no avail. The goblin king observes Gul closely, starting from his gloves, pants, and knee guard. The goblin king recognizes this unusual attire, a bad memory of the orcs that he once knew. By instinct, he tightens his grip on Gul's neck. The goblin king has done asking question. He wants to end it with only one hit, so he charges up his fist and internal energy. He throws Gul straight in the air, and with a strong punch comes the roaring sound of the impact of Gul smashed against the water. The power behind the punch is enough to destroy the edge of the pool and send Gul flying to the ground below. All of the goblins heard the loud bang, so they all came to see what happened. In a heartbeat, 4 goblins entered the wall of smoke where Gul was slammed to the ground. Gull is currently in huge danger. Boss Kai, the teeny tiny goblin that once hunted the wyvern with Gull, has awakened as the Goblin King. His body transformed, now he is bigger and stronger. All the elder goblins find it impossible that Boss Kai is the Goblin King after witnessing Gull's fiery awakening. They were so sure that Gull is the Goblin King. But Gull is no goblin. He is an orc after all, so the Goblin awakening does not work on him. Even 3 of the other contestants have awakened and evolved to hobgoblin, all of them with a more mature body and stronger muscle. All of the goblin elders accepted the fact before them and proceeded to welcome the new Goblin King. It is Boss Kai, the strongest goblin of all time. All goblins joined their sound together to hail the Goblin King that had been summoned before them. The goblin elders command the hobgoblin to continue with the sacrifice ceremony. Continue juicing the sacrifice to get more blood in the chalice. So Afghan resumed his duty to slit more human girls' throats. Slowly but surely every drip of each human's blood falls to the chalice, and now it is almost full. But as soon as he is about to slit another human, in the blink of an eye his head flops off his neck. Wait, what just happened? He was holding the knife, but his head was the one on the ground. Accidentally, a prank of fate happened. The head that falls on the ground spills some fresh blood in the golden chalice to Gull's body. There is no goblin currently present that expects this huge sudden turn of events. Even the Goblin King, but his attention is still fixated to the chalice of blood. One of the goblin elders sees a familiar figure, the Slayer from 25 years ago that wiped the horde of goblins with his almighty sickle that flies over the battlefield. He inhales all of the air he could fit inside of his lung and releases all of it in one shriek of anger. All goblins tremble in fear because the strong human before them wearing a gladiator mask is the one and only Ration the Slayer. Boss Kai gains his composure and tells all of the goblin to not lower their weapon. They shall take arm, set your emotions ablaze and burn yourself in rage. Revenge can only be achieved after killing the Slayer. The goblins who were once in fear now can only feel bloodlust and anger towards the Slayer. This is one of the special skills of a Goblin King, morale boost and King's presence that deletes the sense of fear of all goblins. One of the goblins offered Boss Kai to drink the blood from the golden chalice. All of the goblins inside of the goblin nest take their weapon and all rush into Ration. Their number is not laughable, but Ration took his stance fearlessly in front of the horde. Now with all of their attention at Ration, Asen can only pray that Ran does his job right. Ration does not feel intimidated at all. Instead, it is actually the opposite. The sensation of crushing a goblin's head with his own hand, slicing their heads clean with his sickle as they keep on coming. The feeling of pain and slash wound. The taste of his own blood combined with the goblin's blood that he's slain. Yes, this is it. The same feeling that he experienced 25 years ago that he almost forgot. The overwhelming joy and adrenaline keeps banging him on the head as he slowly but mercilessly whittles down the number of the goblin's horde before him. This ecstasy is the only thing keeping him from falling down. Meanwhile, in the middle of battlefield, Ran expertly sneaks straight from the front line to the back line without breaking a sweat. There finally 3 of them are reunited once more. Lomi and Ran finally find Gull, but he is caved in the ground and covered in blood from head to toe. Ran checks Gull's wrist pulse. Thankfully, Gull is not dead, and he is just unconscious, so he took this opportunity to fulfill his promise to Ration. Luckily, Ran also finds Rieka just in time, so he unties her and explains the current situation. Ran offers his shoulder to Rieka first since he cannot carry Gull and Rieka at once, so he leaves Gull behind to take out Rieka first. Sadly, nothing is ever easy for Ran. A smokescreen suddenly envelopes them because of the goblin shaman spells, and instantly a dozen goblin appears to intercept Ran's escape path. Now both of them are in danger. It is the Hobgoblin elite force cutting their escape. Even the Goblin King Kai has set his sight on Rieka since he wants her blood. This leaves Ran no choice but to change his strategy. He conjures a good length of mana string and wrapped Rieka to launch her straight to Asa. Ran will buy time and deal with the goblins in front of him. There is something you should know about Ran. Never insult him regarding his height, or else you will be like these goblins, all sliced up in half with his mana string, which is sharper and deadlier than most knives. Chopping the goblin into pieces is like taking candy off a baby for Ran. If you want the blood of the human girl, Ran will give them all the blood they needed. The goblins need to get past Ran's dead body first. Defeating Ran is no simple task by any means. He is a special assassin chosen directly by the Elf Lord, trusted with a crucial secret mission after all. So naturally his speed is nothing to laugh at. Instantly he blinked and murdered 2 goblins with a single dash. Lightning fast movement. Ran is already heading straight towards the head of the Goblin King. But one of the Goblin Elders is able to react to Ran movement, so he pulls the Goblin King out of the range of slash. The Goblin Elders are much older, so they have more experience and composure compared to the young Goblin King. Goblin's strength is in the number anyways, so getting worked up over 1 or 2 dead is straight stupid. The goblin shaman Hades cast his fireball magic towards Ran direction. Ran is able to avoid the attack with his nimble movement, but the goblin's combo is not done yet. From behind, a goblin with a scythe is ready to cut Ran in half. Ran is the best dark elf assassin, so with calm and composure he dodges, and with one fluid swift motion ending the goblin's life flawlessly. No matter what they throw at him, they cannot deal with this tiny grim reaper. What will be the goblin move? Of course, if one arrow does not hit, then multiply it 1,000 times, then there will be a better chance of hitting. The goblin elders understood perfectly what a dark elf assassin is capable. Ran might look somewhat young because of his height, but his age might be twice the goblin elder's age. The goblin king decides to listen to the goblin elders and use the specialty of the goblins, which are their number. All elite hobgoblins assembled near the goblin king ready to protect him. Ran got out of the arrow volley without any injuries, and he has set the goblin king as his target. The goblin kings furiously commanded the elite hobgoblins to kill Ran. Hades the goblin shaman once again conjures a fireball to launch at Ran, this time bigger, faster, and hotter. Ran has some bad memories with fireballs, but compared to the elf hunter beast, this is comparable to a tiny pebble. Meanwhile, while Ran is still fighting, our MVP of the story is trying to not be KFC fried chicken in the process of waking Gull up. Hey Gull, it is best if you wake up now. The situation has turned more and more dangerous. But Gull didn't wake up, so Lomi had to unleash his secret move, the ultimate chicken wing slap straight in the cheek. Bok 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 bok. God damn it, Lomi, you are so damn loud. Gull's patience has hit the limit as he grits his teeth together. The goblin elder asked the goblin king to drink the blood despite the last human girl escaping. It is because he saw that Afghan the hobgoblin before dying has already slit the throat of the human girl and drop her blood in the chalice. The blood has all combined and completed the golden chalice. Now the only thing left to do is to drink it, and then the goblin king shall gain the absolute power of the goblins. Ran kept on dodging and dodging every attack the goblins threw at him. No matter how many attacks or projectiles they launch at Ran, he will keep on dodging and parrying them all. Now it is time to counterattack. The elite goblin shaman steps back and gets back into their formation. 1 fire elemental shaman, 2 goblin front lines, and 2 archers. Ran shoots his mana string one way and the other way. Utilizing the springiness of the string as a catapult, Ran launches himself forward with great speed. The goblin elites reacted to the frontal assault of Ran and throw every projectile at Ran. This is a risky move for Ran, since if he gets hit by a single attack midair, then it will be fatal. But he barely dodges every single attack. After a while, all of the elite goblins are almost wiped out and out of stamina. Sooner than later, Ran will wipe every elite goblin and go straight for the goblin king. There is no other choice but to drink the blood chalice. Suddenly, a pillar of steam emerges behind Ran. Is that one of the goblin's sudden attacks? Not even the goblin does not know what is happening as the ground is trembling. Bright red eyes that resemble wrath glimmers despite covered with steam. Gull the blood orc has awakened from his slumber. But it is the same Gull after all, still joking around first, but each step that Gull takes the earth shakes. It is not the same Gull. After all, he might be covered in blood, but the bright red color is his natural skin, and he is covered with black marks that Ran is familiar with. The elite goblin with a great axe stood in front of Gull and swinged his great axe towards Gull. Everyone thought that he will be sliced in half, but he disappears, only leaving the steam he generates behind. Raw, it is straight gear 2 from the Pirate King. What just happened? Even Ran didn't catch what just happened with Gull. Did he just move so fast without even taking his stance to accelerate? Another one tries to stop Gull from getting close to the Goblin King. Well, I would like to see you try Bra Phantom Drive. Before they realized it, they were crossed over by Gull. Gull thought that they had connection deeper than blood. They sang and danced Uptown Funk together after all. But Gull feels enraged since Boss Kai forgets about the bond they had together. Gull might be an orc and they are goblins. Hey, don't be fucking racist, bro. In a heartbeat, Gull jumped straight to Boss Kai's face and kicked the living hell out of Boss Kai, sending him flying straight to the cave wall. This is the power of the blood orc Gull. Boss Kai might be stronger after awakening as the Goblin King, but his strength does not compare to Chief Garrick's punch. Them punches gave Gull chills in the balls, although well, he can tank it somehow. Look who is late to the party. It is Red and his gang. Alright, I will speed run this interaction so we can get back to Gull fast. This guy cross scared. Shut up, don't be a pussy, man up, you have balls for a reason, this is all your fault. Alright, it is time to go. Alright, we go. 2 Brother Scout ahead. This gold adventurer equipped Kringy mask. Now back to Gull. Gull caught everyone's attention because he harmed the Goblin King, and Ran took this advantage to eliminate the elite goblin. The rest of the goblin elites come in the fray, but Peekaboo Ran is already right beside you. Hello and goodbye. They have been waiting for 25 years for their new king to be awakened, but with just one kick the Goblin King is eliminated. The goblin elders cannot accept this, so he released his energy ready to get revenge on Gull. But a flash of light appears, and I think it is better for you to just accept it, brah, do not even think about it. After a lot of hardships and trials, they are finally reunited. Well, most of it is Gull's fault, and now he is red. Gull has no idea why he turned red and this strange black marking, and where the hell is the Gilliman? So many questions but little time. It is fine, Lomi. They might not appreciate you, but we know you are the MVP of this story. On the other side of the battlefield, Ration has already killed a mountain of goblins, and he is not done yet. There is only one goblin left standing that dares to approach Ration with his sickle covered in blood. Based on the aura of this goblin, he is definitely not a normal goblin. Ration is the last line of defense since Asen is critically injured. The one approaching Ration is one of the strongest hobgoblins ever awakened. While he might not have a weapon, he got an amazing body. What are these goblins doing when all of their friends are dead? Alright, they are just going to commentate on the fight. Knowing that his opponent does not have a weapon, Ration dropped his weapon to fight him barehanded. A true gigachad indeed. Alright, let the fight begin. Round 1, ready, fight. Both of them stepped back and distance checked each other. Instantly they got close, and Ration draws first blood with a quick 1-2 punch. The hobgoblin blocked the left hook of Ration. That could have been dangerous. Time for counterattack. A strong double fist hammer straight to the torso, but Ration anticipated it and stepped back in time. Ration closes in again. A good head punch from below, and another one. Ration took a lot of health bars while he is still unscathed. How will the hobgoblin turn the tide? A quick right hook, but Ration just dodges it. The right hook is just bait for the flying knee kick. Such a good creative combo with leg sweeps as the finisher. But it is not enough to stop Ration from staying aggressive. He fakes a kick and turns it into a right jawbreaker. Right now, the hobgoblin is pushed to the corner. Wait, what is he is trying to grapple Ration? What the fuck is this? A quick left 1-inch punch and a semi-torso uppercut followed with a flying roundhouse kick midair. Hey, what the fuck? This is hacks. A strong right hammer with internal energy focused straight to Ration head. Down. The hobgoblin combo slammed down Ration straight to the ground. The hobgoblin was about to finish Ration, but he stood up and blocked it. Oh my god, what is he gonna do? Spinning kick to the hobgoblin's temple. Quickly dodges the right hook of the hobgoblin. Even with his health bar in the red area, he is still calmly blocking and dodging. Sadly, the time ran out, so it ended with a draw. But this is no Tekken fight. It is a life or dead battle where it will only end after one of them dies or falls. This is bad for Ration since he has been going all out since the beginning of the fight with the Horde. Asen was about to step in, but goddammit, why are you even here? Let's just entrust everything to Ration since he is strong. But here comes our main cast of actors to the rescue. Gull sees the epic fight of Ration, so Ran explains to Gull about the Slayer and why he is here. But who is the other guy? Gull asked. Well, Ran could have provided him with the truth, but in that split second he analyzed the situation and decided to lie to Gull. The hobgoblin is trying to steal Gull's precious backpack. Gull is dumbfounded. How could they take something that is so precious? Gilliman that he has loved and traveled with all this time. Once again, Gull is enraged. With the speed of sound, he dashes towards the fight. It took him only nanoseconds to reach the battlefield and instantly kick the shit out of the hobgoblin. Gull kicks the hobgoblin and blasts him away to the end of the cave. The hobgoblin might be exhausted, but Gull's kick would have one-shotted him anyway. The fight instantly ended, and everyone's jaw dropped. It is not a fluke after all. Gull is now super overpowered that he breaks the balance of the game. Even Ration was stunned. He could not believe what his eyes saw himself. A small red orc with enough power to send everyone flying with a single strike. Anyways, everything that ends well is well. All is well, and can you shut the fuck up, Gull? You are ruining the touching moment. I am not crying, you're crying. Now that the deed is done, the only thing left to do is get the hell out of here and get Ration's wound treated. Oh, and this guy too, I guess. Ration is covered in blood. Meanwhile, this dude only has one cut. Why he is even here? Now with all the goblins dead. Oh wait, they are not dead yet. Bra, Goblin Slayer would be mad. Speaking of goblins, the hobgoblin never tried to steal Gull's Gilliman, and Ran had it stored in Asen's shed. Well, Ran got you good, Gull. Gull chases down Ran as they exit together. These kids are unbelievable. Even after going through a lot of death, they still play around as if nothing happened to them. The goblin nest that was once a huge party is now quieter than a graveyard. Everything is finally over with the Goblin King dead. Just kidding. How can I write him off as dead when he is supposed to be the final boss of the story? Boss Kai has evolved to be the strongest goblin in history thanks to drinking the blood chalice. Did anyone forget something? Oh, it is these clowns trying to save the day when all of the heroic deeds have been done by my man Gull, Ran, and Ration. They are surprised to find a goblin nest full of only goblin corpses with no single survivor left. That is because all of the goblins have left the nest with the cover of the night. One of the goblin elder survivors asked the newly reborn goblin king on what they are going to do now. Their goal is still to have revenge on the slayer, so they will get more goblin, find where he lives, and kill his daughter in front of him. But now they have one more target for their revenge, the orc who destroyed all of their plans and dreams. Gull. Every single goblin present remembers how this orc makes them feel despair. Suddenly from the bush nearby there seems to be an intruder in the area. Since his hiding spot is found out, there is no point in hiding, so he revealed himself. Dark gray shaded armor with slim body and a katana, more importantly the dark aura that lingers with him through the darkness. Just who is this assassin? All of the goblins are startled since his helmet looks exactly like the slayer. Goblin King Boss Kai is angry that the goblin didn't call him king, so he elbowed him, and to show dominance he confronted the dark assassin head on. It has not been a good night for the goblins, so all of them are still filled with wrath. But the dark assassin does not reply to the Goblin King with any words, so Boss Kai continues with his taunt. He only said one word, shut, and he let his swordsmanship do the talking, slicing and dicing. The awakened Goblin King Kai, who became stronger, could not even notice that everyone had been brutally slain or that his neck had been slit clean. Just who is this mysterious dark assassin, and why did he appear out of nowhere? After entering the cave, Red and his party are met with the horrifying scene of millions of goblins. Magically, all of them are not moving. All of them are dead not long ago. Just who is crazy enough to eliminate a whole horde of goblins inside their own nest? Well, we might know the culprit. It is a single orc, a single dark elf, and a single slayer. Cross, stop being a pussy and man up a little bit. These should be normal for an adventurer, and you will see a lot more like this from now on. Strum mentioned to the party that this is not a bad situation after all, and Namiya agrees. These goblins are not only well equipped with armor and weapons, but there are also countless hobgoblins which they obviously could not handle considering the sheer amounts of goblins. There is no time to overthink. The top priority should still be securing the captured humans. Yes, there is no time after all. The only choice is to keep moving forward. Stepping through all of the goblin corpses, the dark assassin moves forward through all of the remaining goblins. Just what the hell is his objective? What does he want from the goblins? The dark assassin's main target has always been to question the goblin elders, but sadly they do not speak the same language as him. To simplify what he said, he wants to know where the orc village with the Beastmaster is. The goblin elders refused to provide the dark assassin any information since he had killed the Goblin King. Well, I don't think you understand completely that you are in no position to defy or speak back to the dark assassin. I forgot to say too that you are in no place of negotiating as well. Not knowing or not giving information also means death. But the real question should be why this mysterious dark assassin is trying to search for the Beastmaster. What is his real objective and whose side is he on? Speaking of Beastmaster, Elder Gurren and Chief Garrick are in the blacksmith trying to test some weapon. Sadly, without Gulfin, the best blacksmith, there is no way to produce good quality equipment for the war. Garrick feels overconfident since the last time they fight the demons he beats them easily, so he tells Elder Gurren that this preparation might be too redundant. Upon hearing this, Elder Gurren grows mad and smacked the cocky orc straight in the back of the head. Elder Gurren knows just how scary the demons could be, and everything would not escalate if a certain someone did not let Isa Wright escape. Elder Gurren reminds Chief Garrick once more that he is the chief, the protector of the village. So Gurren went ahead to rest because his back hurts. The survival of the Bubis Orc village now depends on Ran and Gull to reach the Elf Kingdom and get Gulfin back fast. The dragon inside Elder Gurren tries to stop Elder Gurren from worrying too much. Bubis might be in trouble, but they have the legendary Beastmaster. Now I wonder just how far Gull and Ran have gone in their journey to the Elf Kingdom. Speaking of dragon, this is Ebiog, the most venomous and scariest beast in the forest, and now he is hungry. Thankfully, he smells the scent of his favorite breakfast, the smell of chicken. The scent of the aromatic breakfast leads him to a place where some humans are currently enjoying barbecue on the riverside. It is awesome cooking the barbecue. Most of his wounds have been healed thanks to Ran's healing power. Ebiog slithers in for the kill after looking at the pitiful weak human. This will be easy food, he thought. Hey Fatso, give me all the food you have, and I will spare your life, Ebiog said. But Asen does not understand snake languages, and instead of giving him food, I think Asen wants to eat Ebiog instead. So Asen jumps toward the snake to grab him and cook him. Ebiog, I think it is time for you to run and hide behind something, or Asen will find and eat you. Just what is up with this human? Why is he not scared, and why is he so fast? He must have been a crazy strong human who are not scared of the strongest poisonous creature in the forest. Meanwhile, on the table, Ryuka and Ration are currently enjoying a good game of checkers. Because Ryuka has won all of her games, she cheekily trash-talked Ration, but Ration just ignores her. This is it, redemption on the humans. Surely this time will be Ebiog's moment since these humans looks weak, one of them is even covered full of bandages. Ebiog tries to scare the human into submission again. Well, sorry to say, the one in the bandages is Ration the Slayer of Goblin. Although he is injured, his hollowed face even though he is not wearing the helmet and his red glowing eyes is just too intimidating even for the great snake Ebiog. So once again Ebiog cowers in fear, running away from the prey once more. God, that could be dangerous. He almost got his ass handed down to him. Luckily, he found some bread lying around on the ground. But beside the bread there are a dark elf and an orc swimming around in the lake. Ran is angry because Gull for some reason followed the goblins back to their nest, wasting so much time and putting them in danger. They need to go to the elf kingdom as soon as possible after this. Too bad the almighty Ebiog is here. He will take all of Ran's elven bread now and they will starve to death. Too bad guys, the story will end here. No, I am just kidding. Rand senses the snake trying to eat his elven bread, but the snake dodges it and goes underwater. Just what is wrong with these people? They are all snake killers. At the very least Ebiog wanted to take down one of them, so he decided to attack the baldy with the strongest poisonous bite he has. Sucks to be you because while he might look like a weak monster, but Gull is the strongest of the bunch. This is truly the unluckiest day for my boy Ebiog. It is time to walk in shame without no glory to bring back. But finally, Ebiog find a worth opponent that he can fight. It is General Motherclucker or Lomi. God has finally blessed Ebiog, now he shall feast upon his favorite prey of them all. He slithers wildly towards the chicken and opens his mouth widely ready to swallow the chicken whole. But this is not a normal chicken. This is Lomi, or known as the General Motherclucker. He just slaps the tiny snake and goes back to Ran and Gull to swim together with them. Maybe next time, buddy. Maybe next time you will get them. Red and his party did not find anyone alive, so they decided to bury them and grieve their deaths properly. There is nothing else to be done here. Everyone left, but Cross stayed behind for a while. All of a sudden, Cross saw a vision of a scene that was unfamiliar to him. It was raining that day at the graveyard of somebody with their names hidden. A guy wearing a white robe was trying to shake his hand, and the vision ended there. What just happened to him? He falls down and out of nowhere his nose starts to bleed. Just what did he see? And what is the meaning behind the sudden vision? We will find out later. For now it is time to go back to the Adventurers Guild to report back regarding the mission. While on the way back, Namiya suddenly hears something despite the complete silence of the grass field. He instructs everyone to get down immediately because something dangerous might be coming. Wait, nothing is happening, and nobody is approaching them. Just why did Namiya suddenly act up? He said he heard footsteps, and by the sound there must be a lot of them. His intuition and instinct are right. There is an army of probably tens of thousands marching below the hill. Judging by their physique and armor, it must have been demons all heading north. They need to leave now and report to the guildmaster immediately. But this would be dangerous, since if there is an army then there will be some scouts scattered in the area. Well, your instinct is right again, Namiya. I guess your cool mask is not for show. There is no footstep, but instantly the demon scouting squad is standing right before them. Everyone starts to back up and arm themselves with weapons. There is no choice, since they have been found, then they have to fight. There are 3 demons standing before them. The tall green-haired eccentric demon is called Slick, which is obviously a demon considering the tattoo in his belly saying greed is good. The female gorilla demon with a bucket mask is called Thalamas, and lastly the short emo kid demon is called Cirabella. Obviously, they are not going to let the adventurers leave. And yes, both Cira and Thala are both sisters abnormally. Slick better shut his mouth or else his broccoli hair is going to turn red covered by his tomato juice. Namiya tells everyone to escape while he holds the demon's scout back. Red and his party cannot leave him behind since they are sure that he will die. But there is no other choice. Even with their power combined, there is no beating the demons. Like they have the chance to escape, there is no chance to escape the demons too. Cira is the first one to engage the human party. She dashes forward with the speed of sound thanks to her small frame. All of the human party never saw it coming. Cira is instantly in front of the mage's face, ready to eliminate her. Only one person is able to react to this lightning-fast movement of Cira. It is Namiya. He blocks the instant kill strike of Cira, but his knife shattered in pieces in the process. Cira's kicks and punches are all as sharp as a katana. Getting hit once will leave a huge cut in the body. It is not only Cira that is a problem, but Slick also comes from the left, and with his abnormally long limbs he kicks Namiya right in the chest. Even after blocking the attack with his hand, Namiya is blown away by the kick and almost all of the bones in his hands break. Namiya is barely even standing up and breathing. While the demons are still in full health and full stamina, Slick jumps high up in the air while spinning to deliver the final blow to Namiya. Everything is over for Namiya if he does not have any move left. Thankfully, he has a secret weapon hidden in his coat. Namiya whips out a gun and shoots at Slick, but despite being in midair and caught surprised by the secret weapon, Slick is still able to dodge the surprise attack perfectly. This is his last stand. Now it is all up to his skill and will to survive. Once again, he tells Red and his party to leave now and report back to the guild master. The mage gives her last parting gift, healing Namiya's broken right hand. Now he is able to use his broken hand, so he whips out another gun. Covering fire, Namiya shoots the demons wildly. Slick has a rough time dodging all the bullets because of his huge body, while Sira dodges gracefully. But there are 3 of them after all, and Namiya can only distract 2 of the demons. Red and his party ran through the forest to escape from the demon scouts. No looking back. They should not waste Namiya's noble sacrifice anymore. Now the objective is to keep running. Thalas is still Sira's sister after all. Their sonic fast speed and mighty strength are why the sisters were chosen for the Greed Demon Scout. Namiya's right hand that is barely healed by the mage is now severed with a single stab of Sira's hand. Cross could not bear to run anymore, leaving his comrade behind. This is not why he signed up as an adventurer. He thought so. He ran back recklessly to help Namiya out. But everything is too late already. There is no hope of Namiya surviving. Thalas smashes Namiya with hammer after hammer, breaking bones in the ground below. Namiya cannot even move a single finger anymore, while Thalas is ready to end Namiya's life. It was supposed to be the end, but Cross barely arrived on the scene and moved Namiya's body away from the lethal strike of Thalas. Witnessing the horrifying moment of his comrade being pummeled by the demons is the trigger for his awakening. Cross' sword starts to glow uncontrollably and unleashing a radiant blinding light, taking all of the demons' sight for a moment. But Namiya is currently unconscious, so Cross has to carry him over his shoulder to flee from the demons. The demons regain their sense of sight and immediately take haste to chase Cross and Namiya down. But Red and his party did not flee either. Now there is no other choice but to steel yourself and brace for the impact, since the demons are coming with high speed. Stand your ground and never back down has always been Red's party motto after all. Even standing in front of pure terror and death, they still rush forward to protect their friend. Namiya is currently standing barely in the cliff of life and death. This is Zex, the first lieutenant of the Greed Demon Soldier. It was quiet, but Zex hears the fight of the demon scouts from far away, so he decides to check it himself. With a single jump, he is able to scale the entire cliff, jumping past the mountain. The situation is getting worse and worse for the adventurers, and even worse with the first lieutenant coming closer. Thanks to the healing of the human mage, Namiya can barely move now. It is enough for his last emergency move. He focuses all of his mana on the tip of his finger to cast an ultrasound magic bullet. He shoots it straight in the air, and the ultrasonic sound travels every direction far, far away. His last mana was used for a secret call for help. Meanwhile, Red and his party, well, it turns out as expected, since they are silver rank adventurers. Even Namiya, a gold rank adventurer, has his ass handed to him easily. Thalas continues to smash Strum straight in the abdomen and send him flying to a tree. Strum is posted on a tree, and Sira is able to keep up with him to deliver a killing blow. Maybe taunting the demons is not a good idea after all, since you will just die instantly. Thankfully, his friends are still nearby to cover for him, but the demons simply notice them because, well, they shouted their skill's name, and they just simply get out of their way, rendering their skills useless. But thanks to their attack, they are able to push the demons away from Strum. Now they just need to keep running away while keeping the demons back. But it is not because of Red's skill that the demon flees away, but Zex. Zex summons all of the Greed Demon Scouts before him, since he needs a report of the situation. Sira reported that they have found a human adventurer sneaking around, so they decide to eliminate them to stop them from providing information to the guild. But Zex is in disbelief, a human giving trouble for the Greed Demon Scouts, and they haven't killed the adventurer already. Slick starts to give some reasons as to why they are having trouble dealing with the adventurers, but Zex doesn't take reasons. He only wants them to make it quick and not leave anyone left breathing. Nothing left to say, and they instantly zoom towards the adventurer. You can run, but you cannot hide from the demons. Red and his party kept on running and running desperately, trying to shake demons off their trails. Red is quick-witted, so he asks Cross to use his blinding light skill once more, but sadly his sword is missing. It is their only chance of escaping, and it is gone. Now it is truly an exciting, deadly foot race between the adventurers and the demon scouts. But the ultrasound bullet that Namiya shoots eventually reaches the human city and the guild master's office. The ultrasound wave is specially engineered, only able to be heard by the guild master in case Namiya is currently in super grave danger. The guild master instantly stops everything that he is working on to head out and call his familiar down. Instantly, the Dragon Tempest lands on the guild's hall balcony, ready to take the guildmaster to the battlefield. This is Zeke Kenraki, the Wrath Demon Captain, or more known as the Butcher, thanks to his giant cleaver-like weapon. This is Dreger the Wrath Demon 3rd Lieutenant with the title of the Uncle, and on his left is Kaliana the Wrath Demon 1st Lieutenant. This is Foch the Wrath Demon Vice Captain, which is mostly known as the Beating Buddha, and the other one is Klaus de Bell the Wrath Demon Soldier's 2nd Lieutenant. Zex suddenly appears out of nowhere to report to the Wrath Demon Captain Zeke that there has been an issue regarding a few human adventurers. Zex advised Zeke to not act rashly since the scouts have handled it. But Zeke is hungry for battle, so he challenges Zex for a duel in which Zex has to decline humbly or else he will die. The skies turned orange ever since the sun left the atmosphere. The adventurers run time and time again, but eventually the demon scouts' fangs reach them. In the end, their pointless struggle does not matter. Red runs in panic while being chased by Syrah. Syrah blinks in front of Red and slashes his whole body, down to the last one standing. Now that Red is out of the equation, the only one left fighting is Cross. Red is done for. The only one who can escape now is Cross, but maybe, just maybe, you should worry about yourself more. A strike straight to the solar plexus. It was a simple punch, but it can make any grown man unconscious as long as you hit them perfectly. Not even a single shred of remorse is felt by these demons. More and more of Cross' comrades are falling victim to the demons, so he grabbed Strum's axe and furiously charged Thala. She dodges it by a hair's breadth, but Cross is ready to fight back again. But Thala is the type of fighter who never looks down on her enemy. Whether the enemy is a tiger or a rabbit, as long as she is given the order to kill, then no matter how weak or how strong the opponent, she will execute them. Reinforcements comes in late to save Cross. No matter what spell the mage throws at Thala, she just swipes it off like it is nothing. Even the biggest man in the adventurers party looks like a kid in front of Thala. Now it is Thala's turn. With a single punch to the face, she sends Scar flying towards the mage, effectively eliminating 2 people with one move. Thala does not even need the other demon scouts. She alone is enough force to annihilate all of the adventurers. But straight from the sky like a meteor, an adventurer strikes from the sky, pushing Thala back a couple meters. More importantly, the attack is strong enough to break Thala's helmet even after blocking with her full power. He is finally here. The guild master finally arrives after receiving the emergency message that Namiya sent to him. It is not only the guild master that is here, but also his dragon familiar. Hope is finally back for the adventurer's side. The mage starts tearing up at the sight of the guild master France's arrival. With him here, hopefully the balance will be scaled. He looks to Cross, Red, and Namiya that is currently lying on the ground half dead. It appears that he has arrived slightly too late. France is more enraged than ever before because the demons have killed his beloved guild member. He activates his hidden skill to transform him into his final battle mode. Finally, the demons have a worthy opponent before them. A human adventurer capable of pushing Thala back into the corner must be really dangerous, especially this human is capable of inflicting serious damage to Thala. But Slick does not care. All he cares about is the joyous feeling he gets from fighting a strong opponent. All he trusts is his leg powers and the pure destruction he can create with his kicks. But later, after kicking with all his might, he found out that the man he is fighting is not so simple to take down after all. France grabbed Slick's leg and snapped it in half like a twig. His one and only pride is broken in half within a second. Now that the most troublesome thing is taken care of, it is his chance to reduce the demon's number, so he swings his fist at Slick. But Thala blocks France's attack to defend her fellow demon on the ground. France does not give the demons any chances to regroup. With a single step, he spins and pivoted all of his weight to punch Thala in the face, sending her flying a couple feet on the air. This overwhelming power and speed. France is truly worthy of his guild master of the Tempest title. He took down 2 demons in a matter of a couple minutes. His combo is not done yet, especially against Thala, who mercilessly slaughtered his guild members. France jumps up in the air, and with the support of gravity, he slams Thala to the ground, shattering the surrounding land. Just one more left, but where the hell is Syrah trying to go? Because Thala sensed the power level of the guild master, she pleaded for Syrah to report to Lieutenant Zex instead of fighting. Sadly, she is not escaping either. Syrah should be the fastest demon in the Greed Demon Scouts, but France easily outspeed her. He grabs her head like a toy and sends her crashing down to the ground. Meanwhile, in the middle of this fight, an unusual sound can be heard straight from Gull's butt. He just farted while Ran is behind him, cheeky little bastard. But finally, the main character is here to save the day, since they are close anyways to the Elf Kingdom. Ran, Gull, and Lomi have been running through the lands for nights and days, only taking break whenever they are hungry or sleepy. Well, Gull has delayed the team for a long time since he needs to eat every couple of hours. Well, a little detour would not hurt anyone, right? So they all went to search for dinner, and not long after they found a wild rabbit eating a carrot. One looks at the rabbit thinking that it is cute while the other thinks that it is delicious. Gull sneakily climbed over the log and without any sound he grabbed the rabbit by the ears. So what will Gull do to the adorable little rabbit, you might ask? Well, let's just say the rabbit lived a good life. This is so sad. Alexa, please play Unravel in the rabbit's funeral. It is a normal day for Gull since he usually lives in the wild. Hunting his own game has been his entire usual event. But Ran has lived with the elf who is a nature lover and obviously does not eat any meat. At least the meat skewer that Gull cooks tastes good, right? No, he made it worse by putting carrots like a couple of eyes. Now Ran cannot even look at the food since he thought that the dead rabbit was looking deep into his soul. When the sun shines and rises again, they immediately depart on their journey once more. This time the victim is about to be this squirrel on top of tree branch, but Ran will not allow Gull to hurt it. Just kidding, there is no stopping Gull. Unless he tastes the sweet juicy meat in his tongue, he will never stop hunting for another animals. Ran could not take it anymore. Man, you should just accept it already. A lizard, pork, bird, disgusting bug larva, and even a big fat deer. Anything that moves in which he can touch all goes inside of Gull's tummy. Hey, he might be bald orc, but he handsome as hell. Ran is fed up with Gull and his never-ending hunger for animals, so he sneakily covered the meat that Gull had foraged from the animal with his elven bread. Will this simple tactic work on Gull? Nope, it does not work at all. Gull still gulps everything down since wait, it might work after all since he definitely tastes the elven bread, but Gull still eats it all. Just as planned, now he will stop eating once and for all. But this turned out to be Ran's biggest mistake. Inside his dreams, Ran is haunted by the spirits of the animals that Gull killed. Ran felt guilty for the animals since he could have saved all of them, but instead, he even joined Gull eating these poor little souls. Thankfully, it is all only a dream. Ran wakes up while screaming his ass off because of the bad dreams. But he heard somebody else's scream afterwards. It was Gull's voice, and it was coming from this direction. Just how strong is the enemy that Gull is fighting for him to scream that loud? Well, it is the worst kind of enemy. Diarrhea, so Gull rips out a loud fart followed by a watery soupy substance coming out from his butt. The smell is strong enough to tranquilize an elephant in a matter of seconds, so Ran fell unconscious, delaying their journey even longer. But nonetheless, they pushed through and continued their journey to the Elf Kingdom. They are really close to their destination, but Gull's stomach keeps growling and growling, ready to let out the shit again. Poor Gull. Sorry to say, Gull, but your shits are deadlier than Garrick's punch or a nuclear bomb, but it is all Ran's fault for sneakily crumbling some of his elven bread to the meat. Well, a part of it is also Gull's fault for killing all of the poor adorable animals too. Guys, let's stop with the fight. You are going to be more and more late for the war. Stop messing around, alright? I think there is no stopping them from fighting anymore. Ran had this skill saved just for Gull. Elven Eye Poke, a skill that quickly moves his hands to stab Gull's little eye with both of her index finger and middle finger. It is super effective since Gull is bald and dumb. But Gull also has a secret skill, unwashed hands from his shit god that is so disgusting. He dives at Ran, and Ran had to unwillingly smell the nastiest pair of hands in the history of Gull. Oh god, because of their silly fights they rolled down a hill together. But finally, they are here after rolling down a lot. A cliff. What? How is this the Elf Kingdom? There is nothing here but a huge fall down where one cannot even see the end of the fall. Maybe Ran has gone senile after all this time spending his life with Gull. But this reminds me a lot of how Gull's story started. It was a cliff like this that he falls down to finally meet Ran. This cliff is called the Red Edge because the sky here is always red. Gull had enough of falling off a cliff, so he suggested to Ran to find another way, but Ran kicks Gull off the cliff. Hey Ran, you might have grudge against Gull, but this is too much, man. But this is definitely the entrance for the Elf Kingdom, since after he kicks Gull off the cliff, Ran jumped off the cliff with a calm face. Gull kept on falling and falling until eventually Ran caught up with him and stood on top of Gull's back. After falling for a while, they are met with a giant blue bubble amidst all of the orange clouds that envelope them as soon as they touch the surface of the bubble. Magically, the bubble around them stops the fall of Gull. Gull is a lucky man as a young orc, since only several other races than elves are privileged enough to witness these magnificent views of the Elven Kingdom. Green color covers the entirety of the kingdom, with one big tree castle in the middle of the kingdom surrounded by blue clear waterfall. But Gull's stomach has another thing to say to this beautiful view. His tummy could not hold it anymore. Anytime soon he will unleash his biggest shit he ever released in his whole life. The bubble that is once clear suddenly turns brown. What? That is bullshit. I am seeing no way Gull released that much. Is he trying to kill all of the elves? Never to be continued.